Friday. Freak My Chicken Friday. What? Freak my what? Freak My Chicken. What does that mean?
You're listening to the politically incorrect Ian Collins and the Creatures of the Night. Man, I don't approve of that.
Ian Collins and the Creatures of the Night. What a bunch of bozos.
Ian Collins and the Creatures of the Night.
I bet you say that to all the boys.
Frankly, I've pulled better out of my ass.
Ian Collins and the Creatures of the Night. I love the show. I love to clean the studio when they do the show. I'm a big fan. I love the show. You love the show too. You love my cleaning as well.
Good morning. Good morning.
Voice of the common man. Voice of the common man. I am known to the British nation as Ian Tell It Like It Is Collins.
Freak My Chicken Friday with Ian Collins and the Creatures of the Night on the new Talk Radio.
Chunga, and welcome along to Freak My Chicken Friday, everybody. It's going to be a big one. It's an enormous, gargantuan oral sesh. I'm telling you, you ain't heard nothing till you heard this one tonight. And by the way, I'll tell you what's coming back, box for a box. We've neglected this detail because we thought we had a model. We think we've been let down. So we're hoping to find another one from the great British public.
Are we back on the hunt?
We're back on the hunt for a model.
Yeah.
It's a good job poetry is not compulsory. 08700 40 50 60, that's our number, and we are looking for this model. We'll tell you more about it. In fact, it doesn't have to be a model. You know, you can just be a person who fancies doing a bit of that.
For us.
For us.
And our listeners.
Oh, fantastic. There's so much stuff going on in this programme tonight, you will simply not believe it. So you better be here, because we've got film detail coming up, of course, with Ambrose, and Hugh Grant is on the programme tonight. Hugh Grant. Long-awaited Hugh Grant coming up a bit later on. We had a chinwag with Hugh a couple of weeks ago now. He's coming up, and other names to watch out for that are coming on this show over the next few weeks are Adam Sandler is on the programme. Adam Sandler is here.
Yeah!
Melanie Griffiths is coming on the show.
Yeah!
Antonio Banderas is coming on the show. And in roughly 2.5 weeks' time, appearing on this show, Mr. Robin Williams, everybody.
Check that out. Ooh.
No, I'm sorry, if that's not a lineup of showbiz celebs, I don't know what. It is, isn't it?
Forget okay to talk.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
come here for your
we should have
showbiz,
Ross
mate.
King in here or
Yeah.
something. What's going on here? What's going on? So there you go. That's all on this one. We started off tonight with Hugh Grant doing his, the chat we had with him. You can hear that a little bit later on as well. Box for a box detail coming up. Also, detail of a brand new feature starting next week called
Breaking Bands.
Breaking Bands. Starts on this show next week with some big names coming up there as well. Box for a box detail on its way. The autobiography of the Voice of the Common Man starts next week as well.
Loads of new stuff in the show next week.
Loads and loads of new stuff. Things going on you need to be part of. Tonight is Freak My Chicken Friday, which of course means joining us Ambrose Heron.
Hello, Ambrose.
A little ripple, I think, actually, from little Ambrose there. Fabulous. With film detail later on.
Of course it is.
A special one.
So special we won't believe it.
We won't believe it.
Yeah, you will believe it.
We will believe it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right.
So you got all the news and the gossip.
All the news.
And a very special cult classic recommendation for the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up on the programme.
Totally. If you're into your German films.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm into my German films.
You love them?
Love them.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. Urban Eddie is with us. Urban Eddie is in the studio. Let's hear it for Urban Eddie.
Hey.
Well, hey.
Fabulous. You all right, Ed?
Yeah, not bad.
You've been down the FA, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I have indeed, yeah.
What you been doing?
I was interviewing some referees down there,
Yeah,
actually.
famous ones?
Well, if you call Philip Dodd a famous referee, yeah.
Philip, of course he's famous.
He's a legend in his own...
In his own
pitch.
black socks.
Is he a headmaster? Oh, I can't remember. There's one.
He's a referee.
What is it about referees?
No, they have normal jobs.
No.
They do. They're not like professional.
Well, I'm glad Ambrose Heron is here because we would never have known that.
I know, he's the top FA referee spokesman now, actually.
Yeah. Oh, is he?
What about
It's huge, man.
What about Roger Milford?
Yeah.
They are, you're right, though, they are often...
They're all school
teachers.
They are. Yeah, they are.
It's weird.
What's going on there?
Because the commentators every now and again like to give you that bit of info.
They do.
Yeah,
Referee in this match this week is Phil Huddersley, normally at Glastontoe High.
I always tell you where they're from.
Yeah.
Why do we need to know?
Sure the kids are wondering what he was doing on that decision. Bless him, bless him. So all of that is happening. The number you need at this end is 08700 40 50 60. You're listening to Ian Collins, the voice of the common man. Creatures of the night with us as well. Bundles of things going on. You can fax us on 0541 59 69 79, everybody. You can go to the website, which is voiceofthecommonman.com.
The Freak My Chicken Friday, cheesy top 10.
Hey, and anoraks everywhere will be thinking, oh, I haven't got that one on tape. Freak My Chicken Friday, cheesy top 10, indeed it is, which means we've got a whole crock of subjects here that we're going to put your way. This is like an addition to the stuff you want to mention yourself. Did I tell you that Hugh Grant's on the show a bit later? I think I did. Hugh Grant's here. Hugh Grant. Okay, number one on the cheesy top 10. This one. Now I don't know if we'll get any calls on this.
Number one
is we're calling it Guess Which Celebrity Came Into My Shop.
Oh, yeah.
Guess which celebrity came into my shop. Now, it's a little known fact that celebrities still have to go shopping.
Well, most of them do anyway.
They have to eat, otherwise they die and they cease to become a celebrity.
Yeah.
So they have to wear clothes, otherwise they get arrested for nakedness. And that's not on. Not good for the image. Guess what celebrity came into my shop? And hey, look what they purchased.
Yeah.
Because you heard a story, didn't you, of somebody who was working in a shop.
Yeah.
And it was Courtney, what's her name that went in?
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love.
Tell us the story, Pete.
She, it was a very fashionable shop in London.
Yes.
Fashionable clothes shop. And she came in with her own personal stylist and 2 bodyguards.
Now, these people are serious, right? You wouldn't know Courtney Love from a dog's arse, would you? In fact, maybe you would, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
But you would, are you walking down the road? I mean, she's distinctive if you're kind of looking for her.
But the average Joe Bloggs wouldn't have a clue.
Who gives a toss,
So
So
she
it's
came
a
to the
stylist and 2 bodyguards. Do me a favour,
yeah.
you dopey peroxide bint. Go on.
She came in the shop with 3 people around her, and I have to say, it wasn't very nice.
She was demanding.
Very demanding. To put it politely.
Yeah.
And check this out, right? This is how American is this. She started stripping in the middle of the shop and just tried on the clothes in the middle of the shop, in the middle of the floor. And just said, I want this.
You in love or something, Eddie?
And he was like, great. I just like the thought of that, though.
Taking her top off. And all these, shocked, bemused customers were just like, my God.
Blimey. No wonder the old man shot himself.
But this is the crux of it all, right? How spooky is this? Playing in the background as she came into the room.
No way.
This is true.
Go on.
Was for the first time, he said, because he owns this shop, or is the manager of this shop, he said, for the first time in ages, I decided to put on a
Nirvana album.
Yeah.
You're jesting.
I'm not.
So did she make a comment on that?
And she did.
What'd she say?
She said, would you kindly turn it off? And that's putting it very politely. And that's
Really?
God's honest truth. Yeah.
Urban myth.
No, it's true.
By the way, we've got an Urban Myth special tonight.
Oh, this is a cracker.
Just give us a clue. What's it about?
Tease it, Eddie.
Tease it, Eddie. Come on.
Okay, this is about breast implants.
Okay, so breast implant Urban Myth.
Yeah.
By the way, you can hear Urban Eddie on TalkSport tomorrow.
Yeah, TalkSport. Yeah, between 2 and 4. Fan Talk.
With Eddie Hammerman.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, moving on. So there you go. Guess which celebrity came into my shop, and hey, look what they purchased. And kind of, what happened while you're in there. But that's fine. That's fine. No problem at all.
Number 2.
Number 2. I've asked this question before. I don't think we've ever had a proper answer. And that is, has anybody ever been to a real freak show? I'm not talking about the one where the chap attaches big weights to his nuts and carries, irons around with his willy.
Saw one of those at Reading Festival.
They're too freaky.
Oh,
they're too. These people should be, jailed for nefarious offences.
You're telling me that isn't a freak show?
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about two-headed things and and folk with limbs, growing out of their nose.
Are they still around? They are, aren't they?
Well, I don't think they're supposed to be around.
No.
The law of averages, they must be knocking around somewhere. I always think Germany when I think of freak shows.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason for that?
The Nazis' genetic experiments, maybe? I don't know.
Could well be.
Yeah.
Who knows? But when you've got the whole kind of, like the Elephant Man thing and, beings or bits shoved into jars and hairy people, bearded folk, and it's not that long ago, these things, were big business.
Well, what about if you were ever a freak in a freak show?
Well, that would be special.
That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
If you are Slug Boy, call us now. If that's you. If you just kind of wiggle along without nothing. We want to hear this. We need to hear this. And if that's your thing, get on the blower a bit lively. But if anybody really went to a real freak show, and we're not talking about those kind of circusy ones where they pierce their bits and carry stuff around with their genitals. That's freaky. We know that. You can't run away from that. But we're talking sort of traditional freak show. There must be somewhere, probably, underground, one of these things.
Possibly literally.
Yeah. Literally, yeah, knocking around. And if that's the case, because I'm perfectly honest, if I was, I think you have to distinguish between disability and what is classed colloquially as a freak. And there is kind of a difference. Perhaps medically, that wouldn't carry, but there is a sort of a difference. And if that was me, if I was John Merrick, like the Elephant Man, that's exactly what I'd be doing. And what other gig was he ever going to do?
You'd flaunt it.
Was he going to work at Quick Fit? I don't think so.
He might as well make a few quid out of it, I suppose.
Can you blow this up, please? Like your head, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't going to happen, was it? So, that's the... Well, in fact, that's one of the strange... sort of myths that surround the Elephant Man, allegedly, is that, he was treated like crap, and a lot of people say, no, he wasn't, and he sort of, chose that life.
Yeah.
Well, as you would.
And the film sort of portrays it in a different kind of way, and they take him to a hospital to live.
The film,
Very nice.
It's a great film, but it's not true to the truth at all.
I don't think it is at all.
True to the truth.
Yeah, the makeup was good.
Yeah, but what is true is that Michael Jackson, who some might say is a modern-day freak, actually bought the bones of John Merrick, didn't he?
Did he do that, or was that another urban myth?
No, he did actually buy them.
How much were they?
I don't know,
I heard he tried to buy them and couldn't because they're still now in the Medical Museum around the corner here.
No, I think they sold them to him.
Are they?
Monkeys, the Elephant Man, and the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
These are Michael Jackson. Yeah.
So if you did it, 08700 40 50 60, number one, guess which celebrity came into my shop, and hey, look what they purchased, everybody. We'll go straight without any kind of qualification to number 3. Number 3, now you've got to fill in your own blanks here. The working title is, I Saw It in the Public Lavatory. I saw it in the public lavatory. We don't want anybody talking about, it's no good calling us up saying, right, there was these two blokes, right, because that, is pretty commonplace. Neither we want anybody talking, stinky poos.
Or wee-wees.
Yeah. I mean, that would be easy, wouldn't it? It'd be easy. This bloke, right, must have been given birth to a yak.
No, we don't want to...
So it's just things that shouldn't have really been going on in the public lavatory, but kind of were, and they're funny.
Yeah.
'Cause, in fact, you had an experience in a lavatory, didn't you?
Yeah.
In fact, where was this?
I don't want to say where.
No, you've got to say where it is. You've got to say where it is. It makes the story better.
This is at the FA Hall of Fame this week.
The FA Hall of Fame.
They got this really new, posh toilets there.
Yeah.
And I walk straight to the toilets, and this big trough thing, you know, these new metal trough things. And I walk in and I'm relieving myself, and I look down.
So you're having a wee?
I'm having a wee, and I look down, and I see there are two taps. There are taps on my toilet, and I'm thinking, why have they got taps on the urinals? That's sick. Someone's going to come along and wash their hands, and this is a urinal. I'm thinking, it's disgusting. So I finish, having a wee, and I look round, and these were in fact sinks, and the urinals were just to my left.
You silly man.
So you weed in the sink at the FA Hall of Fame. You sick boy.
I weed in the sink.
You sick pup. So anything like that, but if you can come up with something, I saw it in a public lavatory, we'll have it. 08700 40 50 60 is the number for all of this. And by the way, you ain't got to just go along with our subjects here. Anything else you've got, we'll have all of that. Lines are... Hugh Grant is on the show a little bit later on. Hugh Grant is coming on the programme. Moving on to the next little number here. Haven't got any numbers because they've been removed. How did that happen?
Number 4.
Number 4.
There you go.
There, fabulous. Number 4. I found a stranger in my house. I found a stranger, not a burglar.
Yeah.
Not a burglar.
Not a burglar.
Not a burglar. I mean, Miff used to tell the great story of when he came back from his, kind of sabbatical for a couple of months. I think he'd been in a clinic somewhere. Returned and tried to get in and couldn't get in because the locks weren't working, and smashed a window and got inside. And there's a guy in a dressing gown says, "Oh, hello, who are you?" And, straight out of a Confessions film. And as it turned out, his girlfriend at the time had sold his house while he was away. So it wasn't so much he found a stranger, he was the stranger in his own house. But if you ever found somebody in there...
Yeah, something similar happened to me. Well, actually, not quite that similar. But this was in Manchester, and living in a student house, quite a dodgy area. A friend of mine, one of my housemates, walked downstairs, turned into one of the other housemates' room, and there was just this girl sitting on the bed with a coat on. And he said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I'm just here to see John." And he said, "John doesn't live here." And she went, "Oh, wrong house." And just walked out the door, and the door was locked. How freaky is that?
That's too weird.
She just said, "I'm just here for John." And it was just...
That is very well. I've got one on this, nowhere near as good as Miff's, and probably not as good as Eddie's. But check this out, right? This morning, right? Fast asleep, having got to bed about 7ish. It's about 9 in the morning. I kind of wake up and I hear some rustling. I'm fast asleep, stark naked. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's like creeping down by my radiator, adjusting the radiator?
Who?
My flipping landlord. Tell me that bloke's not a pervy perv.
You're serious?
I'm serious. He said, "I'm sorry, I just needed to get something off the radiator."
Like what?
And tell me that is not a bit bizarre.
Does he not have to ask to come into the house? I'm sure
He's in there checking out your young butt while you sleep.
I tell you, I nearly jumped out my bed, as you would.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
I bet he thought it was a toast rack.
Unbelievable. I'm going to sue
Well, the worst one I had was in the first house I ever lived in. We had quite a big garden. Came back from shopping, me and my parents and my brother, and we
You mean there's a little Ambrose knocking around?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know that.
When I was about 6.
Yeah.
And these people we knew in the village were having a picnic in our garden.
Why?
They said because everyone in the park was busy.
That's all right then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, the local hotels are all full, so I thought I'd come and stay around your house.
Put yourself at home.
That's okay, isn't it?
But it was like
What's wrong with that?
The look on them was like, oh, it was great. And my parents were so surprised.
Yeah.
They didn't complain. It was that weird.
Well, often the case,
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a couple to be, there's sort of half a dozen there or so to be going on with. Run through those very quickly. Guess which celeb came into my shop, and hey, look what they purchased or did. 08700 40 50 60. Did anybody ever go to a real freak show? We're talking hairy people, extra-limbed folk, things that are stuck together that shouldn't be, and people whose bits and pieces can detach themselves at will, etc. They're probably illegal now, but they might be knocking around somewhere. If you saw it, did it, went there, or were in it, bell us up, 08700 40 50 60. Number 3, I saw it in the public lavatory. We're not talking here about acts of buggery or anything else so foul. We are talking here odd things that you saw in the carzy of a public variety. I have to tell you that, because otherwise we're going to get loads and loads of kind of cottage inn sort of stories knocking around.
No George Michael story.
I found a stranger in my house is at number 4, 08700 40 50 60. Not a burglar, but just like somebody who shouldn't have been there. They turned up, and you think, what the... But they were there. Maybe you were flabbergasted, didn't say a word. 08700 40 50 60. So that's the ways you get in touch with the show. In addition to all of this, I must stress this, that's just like 5 of our suggestions. Doubtless you have a complete bag's worth of brilliant subject matter that you want to get off your chest and you believe is worthy of sharing with the great British public. If that's the case, then call us too, and we'll have it. The sublime to the ridiculous, the out-and-out incontrovertible to the out-and-out idiosyncratic. We don't care, as long as it's different. 08700 40 50 60. It is Freak My Chicken Friday. I'm Ian Collins, voice of the common man. Creatures of the night are here. They are the numbers you need. 08700 40 50 60 on the phone. On the fax, it's 0541 59 69 79. On the email, icollins@talk-radio.co.uk, or go to the website, check out the website, which is voiceofthecommonman.com. That's one word. You also need the www bit, voiceofthecommonman.com. There's photographs in there, there's a chat room in there. You can, in fact, email from there if you want to. Bundles of other things going on. If you can help out on any of the subjects you've just heard, any stories connected with those, or whatever else you want to sling in. Still to come on this show tonight, the Jerky Boys are here for another sketch. That'll make you chuckle. We're looking for a naked model to come on the programme. We'll tell you why if you don't know all about it so far. Ambrose here with film detail later on, and big star guest of the night is Hugh Grant coming up later as well. 08700 40 50 60, 1053, 1089 AM. We're on the medium wave. Hey, it's the new Talk Radio.
Are you tired of hearing the same old lines and playing the same old dating games? Are you wondering how you're ever going to meet the partner of your dreams? Why not try the Talk Radio Matchmaker?
Sesame Street. Call and play. Everything's A-OK.
And of course, you know, like the TV themes out of breaks as well, which I was telling you about earlier. And Pete thinks I never mention it. I always mention it, all right? Always mention it. Okay, this is Mike in Norwich. Hello, Mike.
Hello there, mate.
How you doing?
I'm all right, cheers, yeah.
Good. What do you got for us?
I got Paul Daniels and Debbie McGee in Brighton in Waitrose.
Really?
Yep.
Were you working there or just in there?
I was serving them at the checkout at the time.
Fabulous. So you're there in the checkout at Waitrose in Brighton.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And everybody's queuing up.
That's correct.
Just to get the picture. Was there a big queue anyway?
Not terribly, no. Not
Okay,
that.
did you spot them prior to them getting to, you know, to be served?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Just a few seconds, though.
Okay.
And then,
So what happened? Did you say, oh, blimey, hello?
No, I didn't really take much interest, to be honest.
Didn't say a word?
Not really, no.
Okay, and what were they buying in there? Anything in particular you can remember?
Yep, I remember very clearly because Paul Daniels just bought a single clementine that cost 20p.
That was it?
That was it, yeah.
One clementine?
Yeah.
He queued and bought one clementine for 20p?
That's right, yeah.
Well, maybe there was more shopping there, but you just couldn't see it.
No, well, not unless he was nicking it. I don't know. It could well be. I mean, Debbie McGee had a very big coat on, and, you know, she could have had stuff stashed away, I reckon.
I mean, you know, this is the bloke that can chop people in half. I'm sure he can make grub disappear.
Yeah.
So, and were they very pleasant and nice and polite?
Yeah, it was pleasant enough, you know. Just give her the money and that.
And he paid by cash?
Yep, paid by cash.
I just love the image of Paul Daniels and a single clementine. I mean, it's, you know, it could have been a whole stack of grub and his weekly groceries, but a 20p clementine. Well, you know, Paul Daniels is entitled to do that, Mike, is he not?
That's true, yeah.
Of course he is. Thank you very much indeed. 08700 40 50 60. We've got some great ones coming up on this particular one. Guess which celeb came into my shop, and hey, look what they purchased. Did anybody ever go to a real freak show? I think for 4 years. This must be the third or fourth time I've asked this question. So I'm averaging this thing out at once a year, I suppose. Nobody has ever been to a real freak show. We have to find somebody who's been to one. I saw it in a public lavatory. We're not talking of acts of jiggery-pokery, nor are we talking about stinky poo stories. We're referring, of course, just to something odd and bizarre that you thought, what the hell is this? Is a loo? It's a public cult. How can... You know? 08700 40 50 60. Hugh Grant is on this show a bit later on. We spoke to Hugh a couple of weeks back, and the result of all of that is on the programme, and ones coming up include Adam Sandler, Melanie Griffiths, Antonio Banderas, and Robin Williams, all appearing on the programme in the weeks to come. This is Vasila in Swansea. Hello.
No, Vasilia.
Vasilia.
Vassilia.
Vasilia.
Like Baz, only Vaz.
Vasilia.
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 It's from Crete.
It's from Crete, is it?
Yeah, my father was mentioned in dispatches twice.
In the what?
Mentioned in dispatches.
Oh, in dispatches?
Yes, he was SOE in Crete.
Oh, was he?
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
And my name comes from that, and I'm very proud of it.
And so you should be.
Yes, I am.
Do your friends shorten it?
Oh, well, you can if you want, but I like Vasilia, please.
Vasilia? I'd rather call you Vasilia. I don't see the point in having a lovely name if someone's going to go around calling you Vas.
That's it. You have to have permission to shorten it.
Well, but you wouldn't, you shouldn't want to. It's such a beautiful
No,
name. I've
it's-
never heard a
it's
name so beautiful in
wonderful.
all my life.
That's it. Thank you.
It's
I like that.
pleasure.
I like that.
Anyway.
I can say anything on all 5.
Sorry?
All 5 subjects, I'd like to say something.
Would you?
And nothing dirty and sordid.
Okay, well, whip through them as quick as we can.
Right, and with graffiti in the toilet.
Yes?
My mother made me a homosexual. If I get her the wool, will she make me one too?
You saw that in the toilet?
No, it's in the book on graffiti.
Oh, right.
And they do write
I
on
see.
toilet doors, don't they?
Yes, they do. They love it.
That's
and I'm
it.
sure it's the same in the ladies.
Oh, yes, indeed.
It's just neater.
Oh, dear, yes.
Yeah.
And in lipstick as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, what else do you want to speak on?
Okay, have you ever seen a freak show?
Oh, no, you know the Elephant Man?
Yes.
He was saved from having to be in a freak show by somebody who did a lot of research using him.
Yes, a guy called Anthony Hopkins.
That's it, and he was Welsh, Anthony Hopkins.
That's correct.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but we don't know how much of the story there is quite true, you see.
It is true.
Yeah, but there's a bit of rumour going around that actually he quite enjoyed the old freak shows.
Well, no,
And the
no,
doctor
he
was a
had-
bit of a parasite who jumped on there and thought, hello,
No.
here's a man with big
Listen,
things.
a lot of people suffered from a genetic disorder, and the Elephant Man, whatever, I can't remember his name, but that doctor did a lot of research using him to help people with genetic disorders.
Yeah, well, that's what they tell us.
No, not what they tell you, it's the truth.
Well,
I
yeah,
only
but-
speak the truth.
Yeah, but you don't know, you weren't there.
No, I wasn't there, but I can read about it.
Yeah, but you see, there's 2 versions here.
Is there really? Well,
Yeah,
I know
'cause-
the true version.
Well, how do you know?
Because I know, I've been told about it.
Ah, yeah, you shouldn't listen to, you know who they are. They're
Oh,
Elephant
I
Man.
do listen. I do listen. Like,
Silly,
unlike some
they're
people.
Elephant
Listen
Man
now.
supporters, those people.
Well, can I say
They're
something?
the Elephant Man Liberation Front.
No. This is dreadful, actually, because of him, a lot of people were not put through the trauma that he was. Oh, crumbs.
Mm.
Yes, don't say oh, crumbs.
No, I didn't. Somebody else did.
Yes, that's rude.
What, crumbs?
No manners. He's got no manners.
Who hasn't?
Whoever said, ooh.
Oh, what, they're only messing about.
Well, messing about with people's minds, right, is dangerous.
Who's messing around with whose mind?
Pardon?
Your mind.
No, not mine. My mind's very clear.
Whose mind?
Well, talk radio, I'm sorry, are brainwashing people. And not
sorry, where did we
allowing
get-
free speech.
How? Not allowing it?
No, they put the phone down on me, Mr. Whale. Because
Hang on, I'm not Mr. Whale.
No, I know. I'm able to talk to you at last.
Absolutely. Well, it's not. If
What else do you want me to speak
if somebody put the phone down on you, that doesn't mean to say that Talk Radio, as a matter of policy, is not allowing free speech.
Well, it is.
Well, no, because who put the phone
Well,
down on you?
I wasn't allowed to... When I said something he didn't like, he put the phone down on me.
Well, that's up to him.
Ask him. Yes, and I've got a right as well to...
Well, no, you haven't. You've only got a right if he wants you to have a right.
Oh, indeed. Well, that's dreadful.
Well, no, but that's his show, you see, so
Oh, dear.
he's got editorial control at that moment.
He's in great danger, I should say.
I'm sure he's not, but...
Well, I'm sure he is. That's just what I feel.
It's not an offence.
What else do you want me to speak on?
I think we've covered it all, actually.
No, we haven't.
Oh, guess which celebrity came into my shop?
Well, Quentin Crisp.
Quentin Crisp, the old homosexual?
Yeah, no, he wasn't a homosexual.
Quentin
He was
Crisp
a
is...
very, very clever man.
Well, you can be a clever homosexual. You're telling me Quentin Crisp is not a
there are
homosexual?
many. There are many clever homosexuals.
You're telling me Quentin Crisp is not a homosexual?
Oh, I'm not saying anything about that. I'm saying he was a clever man.
You said he wasn't a homosexual.
Well, you should read his book, The Naked Civil Servant.
Well, there's plenty of homosexual references in there.
Yes, indeed.
There we are. Well, listen.
What else was there? What other subject?
We've gone through them all now.
Yeah, well, maybe I can talk on some others sometime.
Give us a call again.
I will. I'd love to.
It'll be a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I wouldn't put the phone down on you. You're too lovely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
You cheered me up. Bye-bye.
Speak to you soon. Bye-bye. God, drive you bloody potty, wouldn't it? 08700 40 50 60. Oh, there's so many coming up. Don't go away, Emma. Don't go away, Andy. We've got Moses coming on. We've got Ian coming on. We've got a whole stack of people. 08700 40 50 60. Nobody's been to a freak show. I love that philosophy of talk radio stopping people's freedom of speech. It's probably likely that the phone call ended. I can't imagine Wild putting the phone down on somebody. That doesn't sort of ring true. 08700 40 50 60. That's our number. That's what I was going to say. Right, where do we go? Pete, advise me. I'm sorry, that line there. What's up with Pete? What's up with these things here? That line there has not been hanging on for 43 minutes.
What's up?
And 42 seconds. What's up with these?
It's just screwed, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's completely screwed.
We haven't been on air 43 minutes, and we didn't start taking calls till 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Where do I go first? Am I going to 6 or 2?
6.
6.
It's a bit sad, this one, but it's...
It's sad, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Sad Andy in Plymouth, everybody.
Oh, Sad Andy. Oh, nice one. Cheers.
Well, apparently it's a sad story.
It's a sad... I'm sorry, I've got a Welshwoman nutter. Welshwoman, complete raven nutter. Needs committed.
Anyway.
She's exactly like the woman out of the book, The Dice Man.
Oh, Christ.
By Luke Reinhardt. She's a nutter.
Don't play with people's minds, Andy.
Oh, I'm not. She's better than mine. I'm scared shitless now.
What you like. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, yes.
I saw it in the lavatory.
About 3 years ago.
Yep.
There was a group of us out on the lash on a Saturday night and had a few too many bevies and a kebab. And bad stomach decided, oof, gotta go to the toilet. See, nearest public labs, in we go, group of lads. I burst into one of the cubicles time first, sit down and obviously do myself what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Got up after wiping said Jaxie.
Yeah.
And stuck down this toilet is a dead rabbit.
A dead rabbit?
A dead rabbit.
Well, you didn't deposit it there. I think we should clarify that, shouldn't we?
Well, I hope not.
A dead... Oh, my God. The question is, was it dead before you decided to shower the beast?
Oh, well, I don't know, but he would have been dead anyway.
I guess we will never know.
Yeah, he had the remnants of points of Stella in the
Oh,
kebab.
don't, please. A dead rabbit down the loo.
Dead rabbit down the loo.
I take it you didn't flush it afterwards, of course. Couldn't have flushed that thing away.
We were going to get it out and take it with us, though, but we didn't.
You thought better, yeah.
Oh, yes, well, no marigold, you see.
And you would need them.
Whereas Welshwoman would have probably put it in her hutch and called it Fluffy.
Or Quentin.
Quentin, yeah, because he's not gay, is
Oh,
he?
no. Perish the thought. Good on you, Andy.
Cheers, mate.
See you soon. I'm sorry, yeah, it's quite base, but a rabbit down the loo is kind of unusual. And on that basis, we accept it into the Freak My Chicken Friday fold, which is unusual. Freak Show Detail. Anybody been to Freak? How are we doing on Freak Show Detail? Light, I guess.
Am I right in saying that the Freak Show is the only one that we haven't really got any?
We've got loads and loads of celebrities in your shops, and loads of those are coming up as well. Nothing on Freak Show. I saw it in a public lavatory.
Got a few of those.
We're not really looking for graffiti stories.
Oh,
just that, they're... Stranger in My House. There's a couple of those coming up in a second. In fact, I'll go to one of those right now. And some other things coming on too. And Hugh Grant later as well. Moses, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, good morning, Ian.
Good morning.
Yeah, really good one. There's about 8 of us sitting around a mate's house.
Yep.
You've got to imagine now we're in a block.
Yeah.
Got one main front door and several sort of like the flats off it, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a stairwell that goes up the middle, yeah? About 8 of us sitting around watching videos and whatnot in the front room. Friends had just bought 2 kittens. They decided to leave their main front door open downstairs so the kittens could run in and out, and their flat door inside. We're all sitting there. All of a sudden, there's a strange bod at the door with no top on, just a pair of trousers, no shoes or socks. One of the friends sort of points up to the door and says to the person who lives there, is there someone at the door for you? And the thing was, their front door, that we was all sitting in the front room, and their front door had a glass panel in the top of it.
Yeah.
So we could actually see this guy standing there. Mate jumped up, which was obviously nobody he knew, nobody his wife knew. All of us gathered along behind him. We've opened the door to the front room, and he's just standing there staring at us. Now, there's 8 of us there. There's 8 boys standing there. And this guy just stood there and stared straight through us all. Mate was like, now, what's the matter, mate? And he went, where is he? Where is he?
What?
God, where is he? Where is he? It was like, oh, my God.
Oh, my Lord. Like the mafia had turned up or something.
But I think the mafia would have been preferable. You'd have known what that was about. And they had a couple of guns and some scary hats on, right, and we'd have known where we were. This guy is definitely...
If somebody starts to talk like Joe Pesci, then you know what's going on.
Well, you've got it. You know you're going to get a slap, and
But it's when it's that grey area, Moses, it's no good to you.
When it's them alien jobs that turn up, mate, and you can't baffle out what's going on.
So what happened then?
Well, the outcome was we sort of backed him out, and he sort of backed away from us. He didn't even turn around or try and run or anything. He sort of backed out, kept staring at us, right? the guy whose place it was a big guy, and we pushed him forward, like you do.
Yeah, like you do.
We got him down the end of a sort of corridor to the stairwell to go down the stairs, and the mate saying, look, I don't think you should be here, I think you should go, sort of thing. I think you should go, I think you should go. We're all behind him. He got far enough away, and he just stood there, and we was all standing there, and he just suddenly went, he just like threw his arms up in the air and went, Wah! we all left brown stains, I'm telling you. You could smell it all down the hallway. And he turned around and walked out.
But that was it.
And that was it, mate. To this day, this is about must have been going on 10 years ago. And when we talk about, I'm getting tingles up my spine now. I really am. It was bizarre.
So do you reckon what had happened here, right? That he got the wrong house?
He'd escaped, mate, from somewhere is what he'd done.
So is that what you think? Yeah, he'd actually he was out the bin.
He had just a pair of trousers on, no shoes or socks, and no top on.
He was
I can vaguely remember he might have had like a vesty type top on. But honestly, yeah, the look in his eyes, he needed some, like, chlorpromazine or something.
But it was the that did it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the one, and I can still feel, I've got the nervousness in my stomach at the moment, just thinking
fabulous.
about it, like.
That is fabulous.
Oh,
See, I thought what you were going to say there was that he got the wrong house and decided, as a way of covering his embarrassment, just made some crazy gesture and then disappeared. This is a man from the asylum. This is
a man that if he'd had something big and sharp in his hands, we could have been chopped liver.
Agreed. Agreed. I mean, this is the man that should be in one of the freak shows we're trying to find here.
I went to that freak show. It was a personal visit.
That's right. Yeah, they came to you.
They did.
Moses, thank you, sir.
Top man.
See you later. Shut up. You would die. 08700 40 50 60. So much happening. I worked in a library. The loos had plants growing through from the outside to the urinal area. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Ian and Pete. I see old Michael Portillo has come out of the cupboard then. Mind you, I always had him down as a backbencher. Boom, boom. No wonder he lost his seat at the last election. And apparently Mr. Portillo, who's a big fan of ball games, is also interested in hearing more about Batch's tackle as well. Says the Right Reverend Alan Blizzard MP.
Never disappoints.
Never disappoints. Never disappoints. Always a pleasure to receive.
Reverend Alan Blizzard, I saw you on the World Wide Web. I was checking out the Johnny Thunders site.
Johnny Thunders site.
And in the guest list, there it was, Reverend Alan Blizzard.
Amazing.
And he gave the Voice of the Common Man's website a plug as well. Fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We've got Tom in Coventry coming on, Pete, who's been to a freak show, I understand.
That's right, yeah.
We've got Jason, who's been to something damn close.
Damn close.
We've got Emma in Chislehurst. You won't believe who came into the shop that Emma was in. It's a big one, this big one. Ian in Barnes, similar stories. A lot of celebs in Barnes Way. Again, it's another biggie. And Nick on the M6, who has a unique twist on the strange person in a house, OK? So that's all coming up. 08700 40 50 60. A bit later on, it's film detail with Ambrose. Are you writing it out there now, Ambrose?
I'm so busy, you wouldn't believe.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You're getting it sorted?
I'm getting it sorted. I'm getting it all filed.
Fabulous. And before that, of course, Hugh Grant is on the programme. And in about 15 minutes' time, it's the Jerky Boys, everybody. It's a brand new episode. Never been aired, this one before. It's with Sol Rosenberg, Little Sol, you know, the little character. And it's called Send a Salami to Your Boy in the Army, everyone. So we're doing this in, 10 or 15 minutes, and you on the phone as well, 08700 40 50 60. You're listening to the Voice of the Common Man. It's Ian Collins and the Creatures of the Night on the new Talk Radio.
Are you tired of hearing the same old lines and playing the same old dating games? Are you wondering how you're ever going to meet the partner of your dreams? Why not try the Talk Radio Matchmaker? We'll only match you with other singles that share your interests and are looking for someone just like you. The MatchLink system then puts you in touch through our easy-to-use voicemail system. Call Talk Radio's Matchmaker free on 0808 100 1089 and let us help you find your perfect match. That's 0808 100 1089.
Hey man, see my new Nokia phone I got from that Vodafone store? You can change the front and back covers and make your own tunes, yeah?
Groovy, man.
And I've won tickets to a fantastic rock concert.
Buy the colourful new Nokia 3210 from your local Vodafone store and get free connection worth £35. And you could also win exclusive tickets to any concert in the world.
So, who are you going to see, man?
Leo Sayer in Eastbourne.
Remember what you heard.
Would you like to take some calls from the listeners tonight?
I can take some calls for a moment or two, but I have another interview to do in about 5 minutes.
Do you? Okay. With the BBC?
But I have another interview to do.
Yeah. If it's with the BBC, I'd forget about it. I'm having them closed down fairly soon.
And remember where you heard it. On the new Talk Radio. Your station for sport news and views.
Here we come, walking down the street. We get the funniest looks from...
Everybody, you see Ian Collins and the creatures of the night. Grab all your friends and your family and your granny and your granddad and say, hey, listen, it's Ian Collins and the creatures of the night. It's Freak My Chicken Friday.
This is Dancer Mike Hansen, and this is Freak My Chicken Friday with Ian Collins and the Creatures of the Night. Hit the music, boys!
Why don't you go away and do something more interesting than this conversation? For instance, practicing blinking.
Oh, is that us?
It's us. Fabulous.
Just love it. A bit of smooth broadcasting.
That was very smooth.
Love it.
Very smooth indeed. Don't go away, Tom. I'll be with you in just a second. Let me just go to Emma, who's in lovely Chislehurst. Emma,
All right.
how are you?
All right, Mike. Not bad.
Who's Mike? I'm not Mike.
Sorry?
Who's Mike? I'm not Mike.
All right.
I'm Ian.
Ian, yeah, I was talking... Oh, sorry. The one that answered the phone, his name's Mike, isn't it?
Yeah.
He kept coming back, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Right, sorry about that.
That's all right.
All right, Ian. Well, he's like Freak, and it's famous, and it's a saddlery shop I work in.
You work in a saddlery shop?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I had someone famous come in.
Go on.
Do you want to know who it is? Fergie.
Fergie.
Fergie came in one
Fergie
day.
came in on a horse?
No, she went. Oh no, she just come in to buy a bit, saddle soap, saddle, just bits and pieces.
Was she nice?
She was alright, but because we've got a horse there and we put saddles on there and let them have a go, and she wanted an American saddle. So I just left her alone for a couple of minutes so I was serving her another customer. When I come back, she had these like tight. They weren't jods, like the green jods. Green colour jods. She had them on, and I come back and she was honestly. And she was on the pommel, giving it some.
And these
big smile on her face,
kind of
ginger hair going, rocking, to and forth. Honestly, Ian,
she was on the.
Do you know the black withers of the horse?
I'm not. My equestrian knowledge isn't brilliant, so.
Well, do you know the neck of the horse?
The neck.
And then you got your withers.
The neck, the thing that's attached to its head?
Yeah, and it goes along into the spine, and the withers is in between the neck and the spine.
Oh, yeah.
Of the horse. And she was sitting on, because these American saddles got big
real
pommel.
Horse?
No, it's like a rocking horse we got in there.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
stick the saddles on.
So she sat on the neck of the horse?
She was on the American-style saddles, like John Wayne?
Oh, yeah.
Where you're supposed to rest your hands and your reins. Well, she was, down below on there, giving it some big smile on her face when I walked in, walking to and fro, ginger hair going, sweating like a pig.
On the back of the fake horse?
On the pommel. She was on the pommel.
Was she?
Between
Do you
her
think
legs.
she was, obviously...
She was having an orgasm.
She what?
She was having an orgasm, Ian.
Was she?
On this horse, I work in a saddle. She was on, do you know the Western style, that bit?
Yeah.
And she was giving it a sweating like a pig.
Very pleasant.
And she was red in the face, like her hair.
Yeah, we got the picture.
Do you know?
Who else has been in your shop?
No, I've had famous
See, now that story
people,
would have been twice as good if it had been the Queen Mother.
No, I've had very famous people, but Fergie, that would took the biscuit.
Well, that's amazing.
Dirty bugger.
Just amazing, isn't it?
What can you do?
Well, you can't do anything. In fact... Listen, Emma.
Right.
We love you.
Fishy.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. What's that game? It's a good job we dumped that out. But,
kind of waiting for it, really. It was going to come.
What was the one that she called up the other week with something equally as bizarre?
Oh, she always tries to get on. Occasionally she gets through the net.
It's... But what? I don't know, what was that actually call about? It was about... Okay,
It was about Fergie getting on a fake horse and giving herself an orgasm.
Don't try to analyse that, Bryce. You can't do it, mate.
It doesn't
you can't
work.
do it.
It does not work. Freud would have a field day.
Big time. But I don't think it happened, you know, if it's any consolation. If you hadn't sussed that out already, listeners, don't think it happened. Okay, the story was kind of up when she said hello, really, wasn't it, when we first went to her. This is Tom, who's over here in Coventry. Hello, Tom.
Oh, yeah, how are you, Ian?
All right, not bad at all. So you've been to a freak show?
Yeah, I mean, just before that, I mean, no offence, but I think the caller before, I mean, she was talking Rolex.
Big time.
Big time.
Big time.
Exactly.
I mean, we were with her, weren't we, up until a point?
She's had a few drinks and she's decided to get on the radio and have a bit of a laugh.
But it was,
stupid.
if we'd have stopped the call at the point where Fergie walked in, we might have been all right, you know?
Yeah,
but as soon as we got to orgasm stage, you know, this was going nowhere, really, but there you go. Anyway.
Anyway. Yeah, I went to a freak show in Arizona.
Arizona?
Yeah, in America.
So it was perfectly legal, this thing, was it, yeah?
Well, it was supposed to be legal, and, I mean, as far as I was concerned, it was kind of a bit fake, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some of them were all right. It was sort of, you know, the stand stuff, bearded lady, dwarf lady, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the bearded lady, you know, she looked kind of genuine, but it could have been, you know, it was all at a distance, if you know what I mean. It was all about,
often the problem, yeah.
it was all about 10 yards away. You couldn't really see it properly.
What was their starring exhibit?
The starring exhibit was a man who was supposed to have a sort of a congealed twin.
Where was it?
On his stomach.
Oh, yeah?
But it looked at it all of a sort of I don't know, sort of polystyrene cutout kind of thing, if you know what I mean.
So that could have been anything on there, really?
Exactly.
Bit of old jelly or something?
You know, it was so far away. It kind of looked as though it was something,
Lovely.
but you couldn't really tell whether it was or not.
Fake freak shows, they're even better than the real ones.
Exactly, and you know, they were charging $15 to get into it.
Wow.
But I thought, you know, you're in America, you can't really get freak shows in this country.
No, well, you've got to go. I mean, you did the absolute right thing to go.
Exactly. You go to fairs in this country and all you get is dodgems and sort of...
That's correct.
Wheels, yeah. That's all you get.
And a bit of a coconut arrangement.
Exactly.
And that's it. So, you know, you see the sign freak show and any Brit would dash to that.
Exactly.
And naturally so. You'd be waving your $15 saying, let me in, show me them they're freaks. And I'd have been right behind you, Tom.
Thanks a lot.
But you're not convinced it was a real one?
No, I think it was fake. But I hear in America there are some underground ones that you go see, and they are actually real.
There must be around somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, Tom.
All right.
Good on you, mate. Thanks a lot. 08700 40 50 60. Jerky Boys are on their way. It's the brand new episode called Send a Salami to Your Boy in the Army, everyone. Stand by for that. Is there any chance of a cuppa from anybody who might be going in that direction?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Not from me, but somebody who it.
Well, no, because you're there, aren't you?
I'm here.
You're there. You're there. Technical operating. Coming to you in just a sec, Nick. The fabulous Baker Boys say, dear Ian and their creatures. Here at Baker Boy headquarters, we've had quite a few celebs come into the shop, such as megastars like Jimmy Tarbuck, Bruce Grobbelaar, Max Bygraves, to name but a few. And guess what they bought? Yes, bread and other flour-based products. We've even supplied the QE2. That really... Although it didn't come in the shop itself to pick up the bread. Well, obviously. Because, like, the door isn't wide enough. And my mate said that he came downstairs to find a little man with his head between his legs sitting in his front room. He said, are you a goblin? He said, yes. He was doing it big... Boom, boom. How you doing, Nick?
Hello, Ian. You all right, pal?
Not bad at all. What do you got here? Now, this is a bit of a twist on the I found a stranger in my house.
Well, what it is, I'm a bit of a northern version of Myth. I'm about the same age, I've the same kind of experiences.
Yeah, go on.
So one night we went out Hot Turk, as Myth would say.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, you end up, you're looking at, you pick something up. So anyway, I've got full head of steam, goes back to her house, does the business like. Anyway, next thing I know is I wakes up, I've got a quilt on me, I'm led on the settee. Sunlight's coming through curtains, I'm thinking, well, that's not too bad here. Thinking, nice house.
First thing I know is the bloke stood over at top of the tea, ranting and raving at me.
No way.
So, as quick as a flash, you think, it's her husband. So you're off, aren't you?
So, well, of course you are, at a million miles an hour, Nick.
Correct. Scrubs in your hands, boots and away, gone.
Gone.
Anyway, I'm thinking that were a close do.
Yeah.
But 3 or 4 weeks later, I go to this nightclub where I met this bird before. She's there.
Same girl?
Same girl. So I pulled her. I said, what was script like? She said, it was my dad.
Her dad?
A dad. She says, she'd nipped out. She'd like gone down to a local shop or something to get, like a Sunday morning.
Yep.
To get something for his breakfast. By this time, Dad's come downstairs. I hadn't woke up, but I woke up with him bloody ranting and raving at me.
Oh, my Lord. You see, you don't... So in essentially, you were the stranger in the house.
Correct.
I mean,
according to him.
in fact, give it a few minutes, Nick, and you never... He may well be one of our next callers.
I'm hoping not.
So, talking about the time when some weirdo tried to do strange things to his daughter. 08700 40 50 60. Ian is in Barnes. Ian, how you doing, sir?
Hi, good morning, Ian.
Good morning.
Well, I mean, about 6 or 7 years ago, I was working for a news agent in Richmond, and Pete Townsend came in.
Well, you were working in there, were you?
Yeah, well, I was working for them.
Right.
Anyway, Pete Townsend walked in.
Fabulous.
He more sort of shuffled in and walked in. He's wearing slippers at the time.
Pete Townsend in slippers?
Well, 8:30 in the morning, you know, obviously just got up. And shuffled in, you know, in a pair of slippers. And picked up this newspaper, so shuffled up to the counter. I stand there with my boss behind the counter. And I said, well, I recognise him, of course, you know, me being from the 60s as well. And I said, I saw you and the other boys at the Windsor Jazz and Blues Festival in 66, Pete. He sort of stood there, sort of looking. I think he's completely zonked out of his brain. You know.
Yeah, it's probably it's early morning, you see.
Well, I was trying to remember, you know, sort of, who he was now. Anyway, and he said, oh yeah, and I said, yeah, you're being supported by the move, Pete. And he said, oh, right, yeah. And so got a few coins out of his pocket, so dropped my... Those fingernails, Christ, anyway.
Yeah, interesting. All right, okay, fabulous. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. 08700 40 50 60. What the hell was that all about? We've no idea. That just kind of alters the tone, doesn't it, a little bit too much. Okay, stand by. All the bits and pieces are coming up. Jason, do bear with me, sir. Don't go away, Dave. Loads of other things happening. More subjects. We've got 3 other belting subjects I want to bring in just a second. Stand by for all of that. It's all on its way. Hugh Grant's here too. And these are the Jerky Boys.
Across the UK, this is your station for sport, news and views.
On 1053 and 1089 AM medium wave.
The new Talk Radio.
Hello.
Hello?
Hold on.
Hello?
Can I help you?
Hi. Hello?
Yes.
Hi, this is Sal.
Hello?
Yes, hi, this is Sal. Hi, thank you. Thank you. I would like to order a box of bolognas, please.
A box of bologna?
Right. They say send a salami to your boy in the army.
Okay, let me explain. Our bologna comes one way
Send a
only.
salami to the boy in the army. That's what they said.
Right.
I want to get salamis and bolognas. Bolognas.
Okay, bologna comes...
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Go ahead.
Bologna comes in one size. It's about a 7-pound...
Yes, a 7-pound bologna. That's a big... Oh!
That's huge.
Oh! What was that? What was that? Excuse me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It wasn't here.
Oh, my word. Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The salami...
Send a salami to your boy in the army. I like that.
Yeah, the salami, soft salami, come 2, 3, or 5 pounds.
A 5-pound?
2, 3, or 5, and the hard salamis are 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5 pounds.
Right. When they cure the salamis, is this the one that they rub on the neck leather? They rub these on the neck to make the skin, like, soft salami?
No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they cure it. They rub the intestine all over the back of the neck with salt wounds or something like that.
Not that I know of.
Send
no.
a salami to the boy in the army. That's what they always kept telling me when I was there. And I like that. And what I would like to do is order boxes of bologna, salamis, please. Thank you, please.
A few, no, this is for mailing.
Yes, I know. Oh my God. Are you all right? Please.
This is not happening here.
Oh, my word. Oh, God, that makes me very scared. I'm very, very scared when I hear that. Ma'am.
What state are you in?
I'm in New York State.
You're in New York State. Okay, we can't
the wonderful Empire State. The wonderful, beautiful. Send a salami to the boy in the army. I love that slogan.
Yeah, we can't...
You got Souten Fouders over there?
Excuse me?
Yeah, and a salami with a boy in the army. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
Clap your hands, stomp your feet, jerky boy beat. You want it, come get it, come on baby, just hop with it. Have a seat, a plum, a piece of bubble gum. Clap your hands, make some noise, come on baby, it's the jerky boy.
On the hour, every hour, from the Sky News Centre. This is Talk Radio News.
Baby boy makes medical history, gay revelations won't harm Portillo's comeback, and Batty says, so what about his bad tackle? Good morning, it's 3 o'clock, I'm Sophie Benzing. A baby boy's made medical history by surviving an ectopic pregnancy after developing outside the womb. Ronan Ingren, who was one of triplets, has been delivered with his two sisters at King's College Hospital in London. Hospital spokesman Nick Samuels says it's a miracle.
To our knowledge, this is a unique event to have a multiple pregnancy with one of the babies developing outside the uterus. Obviously, we're very pleased with the outcome. It was a very major piece of medicine and surgery, and we're delighted for the family and for the babies.
Michael Portillo's revelation that he had gay relationships as a student doesn't appear to have derailed his political comeback. The former Tory Goldboy's past hasn't lost him support among senior Conservatives. William Hague is backing him all the way. Mr Portillo wants the safe seat of Kensington and Chelsea following the death of Alan Clark.
We've had one or two problems at the training ground this week with illness and players feeling, shall we say, under the weather. George was one of them. With meningitis, there is a regional plan, health plan, and that kicks straight in. And the advice we had for medical professionals was that in the best interest of the fans, the players, both of this club and of course Sheffield United, who we were due to play at the weekend, in their best interests, playing this game was not an option.
Women may be dying needlessly because standard methods of predicting a recurrence of breast cancer are not up to scratch. Scientists believe a new technique for detecting secondary tumours has more than doubled the success rate of current methods. Talk Radio Sports now, and David Batty says he has no regrets about bringing down Polish midfielder Radoslaw Mikulski. The Poles have branded England's players as bully boys. Batty says they're making a meal of it. QPR have been forced to cancel this weekend's game with Sheffield United after one of their players, George Colshaw, was diagnosed with meningitis. Colshaw and 3 other players are under observation. The club have closed down their training ground in West London and it won't reopen till next week. Chief Executive Simon Crane says it's a precaution they've had to take.
We've had one or two problems at the training ground this week with illness and players feeling, shall we say, under the weather. George was one of them. With meningitis, there is a regional plan, health plan, and that kicks straight in. And the advice we had for medical professionals was that in the best interest of the fans, the players, both of this club and of course Sheffield United, who we were due to play at the weekend, in their best interests, playing this game was not an option.
Manchester United should find out today from UEFA whether goalkeeper Massimo Taibi will be able to play in Europe after all. Sir Alex Ferguson says it's the fault of Taibi's former club Venezia that his Champions League registration wasn't completed in time. Finally, stars have turned out in London to pay tribute to film director Stanley Kubrick, who died in March. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman and Joanna Lumley were among the celebrities at last night's Director Guild of Great Britain Awards, where Kubrick's widow received a Lifetime Achievement honour on his behalf. Those are the top stories from the Sky News Centre. Talk Radio weather. It'll stay clear and dry in most places, although showers will continue for a while over northwest Scotland. Overnight lows of 8 Celsius, 46 Fahrenheit in Portsmouth, 5 Celsius, -41 Fahrenheit in Aberdeen. It could be a bit chilly at first in the morning, but it'll turn into a warm, bright day. Talk Radio News Time, it's 4 minutes past 3.
Every night that I was driving round in my car, I was scanning every airway for a radio star. But all I found were voices with the same repertoire till I stumbled on a show that was so dissimilar.
Voice of the common man. Voice of the common man. Voice of the common man.
Good morning. Good morning.
Voice of the common man. It's a bad, bad book.
Whip me. Whip me.
Good morning.
Voice of the common man. Voice of the common man.
I'm Andy the Beaver.
Okay, it's Ian Collins and the Creatures of the Night. I don't understand what's going on here.
Isn't that bizarre?
Ian Collins on the new Talk Radio.
Did we play Sentless Apprentice last night on an opener?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did do, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Why is that?
Well, no, because Rory says, you know, a little while ago we were slagging off Nirvana.
Yeah.
And Kurt, and then, you know, we've got a jingle, an opener.
Let me just get something straight, okay? My musical taste doesn't come into what music we play on this show.
Absolutely, you see. You know,
I play what makes good radio, you know?
Well, there you go, you know, and that's the thing. That's where we're coming from here. That's our central philosophy.
Don't correlate the two things in that we play a lot of Idlewild and a lot of Symposium on this show, and I'm a big fan of the two bands.
Not even connected.
Don't even think
connected.
about
In
it.
fact, you know, Pete doesn't want to play. Sometimes we have to hold Pete down and make him play them.
Yeah. I hate playing music on this show.
I mean,
if it was up to me, right, we play no music at all.
We'd do like a Mike Dickens special.
Mike Dickens special, that's what I'd prefer. Yeah.
A lot of old folk like that. They don't like the music.
Nah.
Because they have no creative imagination. It kind of oozes out of their heads at a certain point in life.
They like Bing Crosby and all that sort of rubbish, don't they?
Yeah, but I've never understood. I mean, again, this is going to go in the book, the Confessions of a Nighttime Radio. I've never understood that. You don't get it so much now, but you used to get it whenever you played a bit of music. People would ring up and say, "This is supposed to be talk radio, not music radio."
Yeah,
it's like they were delivering the Gettysburg Address or something. You know,
some
like,
sort of talk radio constitution.
exactly. You know, it's like said who. Said who? You know, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to take callers. Now, don't tell me what my job is, bozo. Shows differ, you know?
Very true.
Shows differ and they do different things. And I've never got that idea that you can't, you know, put in elements of music in talk radio to kind of just give it a different kind of feel.
It complements it, doesn't it?
It should that's right, it complements it.
Yeah. Also, it's like on a music station, should they have no DJ banter?
Right. Absolutely, yeah. Should DJs not be speaking at all on music radio? That's the kind of... the sort of antonym of the situation, if you like.
Yeah. The counter-argument.
Yes.
The counter-blast, as John Milton might put it.
Indeed.
Thank you,
The counter-blast. A couple of others I'm going to whack in here as well that we've got to do, I think. Bizarre ways you found out about this show.
Yeah.
Bizarre ways you found out about this show. Now, often it's word of mouth. If you're kind of up at night, then it's invariably through flicking through the radio and stuff. But if there's a more bizarre way that you came across this programme, we'd love to hear it. Call us now, 08700 40 50 60. Next one, did you ever pretend you were a police officer? Did you ever pretend you were a police officer in whatever? Because I've done this.
Have you?
I've actually done this.
When you?
No, this is true. Momentarily, very, very briefly, me and a couple of other guys, I was an extra on Bergerac.
Ah.
It's an extra on Bergerac. And it took place somewhere around kind of Tower Bridge, and I'm not absolutely sure, to this day, I could never find that road again. And I think it was his last episode. I mean, fans of the show might remember it. He was taken hostage in a warehouse, but it wasn't in Jersey. It was where he'd come over to this country, and we were armed police officers.
Oh, have you got to take that of it?
Do you know what? I don't think I've got this on tape, this one.
I can't imagine.
In fact, no, I never even saw this one. I'll tell you who else was in it, that particular episode. In fact, she might have been in all the Bergerac. I don't know, it was Louise Jameson, who plays the Italian's mother on EastEnders.
Oh, really?
Who used to be a Doctor Who assistant.
Oh, Badger Woman, yeah.
Badger Woman, that's right, with the hair thing.
That's right, yeah.
So anyway.
She was his girlfriend, wasn't she? Or he sort of...
In Bergerac?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was, yeah.
yeah.
She was really nice. I remember her being really nice. It was a 2-day job, and they're always quite nice little gigs when you get to do something slightly different, like the firearms thing. So they have this guy from the Metropolitan Police, you know, you sign for these things, even though they're...
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even know if they were fakes, actually. They weren't loaded, obviously.
Yeah, they're probably real. They've probably got the actual pins taken out. She can't find
Yeah, I'm sure it's something on those lines. So anyway, two really weird incidents occurred this time. Well, in fact, 3 weird incidents. One was that it was Saturday and Sunday. We had to turn up there really early. On the first day, we had to go to the BBC in White City, and they took us down in a minibus to the location. And then the second day, they said, right, don't meet at White City, meet here. And I overslept on the Sunday.
Oh.
And didn't know where the hell it was. And some psychic energy must have kicked in, because I drove, like, into London. I was probably only about an hour late, but it's, you know, when it's you think, hang on, they are making a big television drama here after all.
Yeah.
I'm only a flipping extra, but, you know, they need X amount of extras. And where are you? So I turned up and I just sort of mingled in, grabbed a bit of breakfast, and away I went. So there was that. So anyway, we had these coppers, Metropolitan Police uniforms on. And during the break, they did say to us, don't wander off too far away, because you are dressed as police officers.
You were wearing like the black?
Yeah, the full Metropolitan Monty, you know.
Oh my God.
So we're on the corner of the street, and this guy runs up to us and says, you couldn't make this up, and goes, here, lads, you better get down there. There's a guy having some real hassle. So we turn around and go, but we're not police officers. And he looks at us like, what? Of course you're police officers. You're policemen. I can see you. So we didn't... I don't quite know what happened after that, but we certainly didn't go and investigate. And then we were kind of... We walked through this alleyway onto a main road, and as we walked through the alleyway towards this main road, it was, again, about 8 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, really, really quiet. This guy in some sort of Ford Escort did this kind of handbrake turn in the middle of the road. You know, because he wanted to, drive in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And as he did it, 3 coppers, like reservoir dogs, walk out of this alleyway. And he sees us and thinks, he's obviously, in motoring terms, he's committed a very large offence there.
Yep.
So he stops. He didn't. He stopped, unwound his window.
It's unbelievable.
And he went, I'm really sorry, lads. I wish I'd said it, but it wasn't me, and I could have said it was, but it was one of the other extras. And he went, don't worry about it, son. Drive on. And it was just a lovely moment. Lovely moment. And this guy, the gratitude on this man's face was, like, never forgotten.
You should have said 50 quid and we'll forget the thing ever happened.
Well, there is that, yeah. Absolutely. So it was kind of not intending to impersonate a copper, but...
I just can't imagine you in a police uniform. The image of it just makes me laugh.
Yeah, it was quite laughable, really. I did a couple of police jobs. I was a 1920s copper on Poirot.
Were you?
At the Hackney Empire.
Really?
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Because you can get, if you got, I never did that. I bought my own police uniform.
You some kind of sicko? What?
Well, no, but the thing is, well, if you do extra work, right, and if you look through any agent's directory, of people who put this up for extras, it'll say have their own police uniform, fireman, whatever. You increase your workload by like 50 times, because half the time they're quite hard to come by. So I kind of got onto this idea, and so I went and purchased the uniform, and I stole, sorry BBC, I stole the buttons from the one I used on Bergerac, because to get the proper Metropolitan buttons, take some doing. I nicked these buttons, and so I had my uniform at home, but actually, within a few weeks, I stopped doing extra work. So, lo and behold, never got to use it. But I had the full bit, the full gear.
Blimey.
I bet
And
you
you
use the same excuse about the handcuffs you've got as well.
Every single time. And a truncheon, don't even ask. You know? So this was all happening, and it was, yeah, I mean, you can do it very easily, and it just felt a bit weird. But it was fun. But there was a guy, if I remember, arrested. Because the other time you want to be a copper, of course, is when you're in a car. You know when somebody does something really crazy in a car, and you sort of have this urge, and don't tell me if you're a driver, you've never ever done this. You have this urge to kind of speed up a little bit, just with that hope, and you will never know that the person in front thinks you're an unmarked police car. Everybody has that sort of feeling, you know, oh, please, I hope they think they've done a bad one. But there was a guy arrested who actually went around flashing his lights, because I've been pulled up by an unmarked police car, and it's actually really scary.
Yeah.
Because it's an ordinary, like, Fiesta. It was down here, down the road here one morning.
How do you know to pull up, though?
Well, exactly. So all you know is you're driving down the road, and the headlight, well, twice, the headlights start flashing.
Oh,
just the headlights, nothing else.
Some of them have these little flip things that will flip. It's like a little James Bond thing that will flip and say police at the front.
The other one, well, this was like a Fiesta or a Peugeot or something down round the corner here. Just leaving here in the morning. I'm surprised I don't get pulled up more, but for whatever reason. And they just follow you down the road and flash their lights, headlights, like any other car would. No different to any other car. So you think, well, hang on. And then you sort of think you've seen a police uniform in the car, but I mean, fortunately they had uniform, had they not. And then they come out with that classic line where you took a while to stop, and you think, well, I'm sorry, you could have been, this is like 5 o'clock in the morning, mate, you know. You could have been anybody.
You're a menace, Collins. Yeah.
But the other time, the worst scenario is I got nicked for speeding on the motorway by an unmarked police car. You know, with a camera in the car. And that's the worst thing.
That's just flipping rude, isn't it?
Oh, I'm telling you. It's rude, man.
At least
no, but they have blue lights in their grill. You can't see it.
Yeah.
You can't see them, so
right,
you just see this car behind you, and you do get a slight idea that, because they're often white cars, not exclusively, I mean, but they seem to be white.
They haven't got hubcaps either, have you noticed that?
Is that right?
I think so.
Anyway, so, and this car seems to be following you for a long while.
Yeah.
And you think, no, that's a policeman. And then you see these little blue lights come on, and they pull you over, and they show you the footage of you speeding and overtaking them, which is a bit weird.
They don't do the Starsky and Hutch thing where they put a magnetised light on the top.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
No, but I've seen that done, though.
Really?
Does that happen? Yeah.
I've never seen that.
On the back, yeah.
I thought that'd be cool.
No, that really does happen, yeah.
Do they
that really does happen.
jumping out the windows, don't use the doors as well?
That is quite cool.
Yeah, that's what they...
But I mean, that was the time I got, you know, total abuse from the Kent Constabulary, from the worst policeman in the world, who gave me such an incredible hard time.
Did you report him?
What, for...
No, I can't believe I didn't.
You should.
What did he do?
Kept me there for about 45 minutes. Seriously.
Blimey.
Absolutely no reason to do that at all. Was completely abusive.
Really?
Completely abusive. Right into my face. Kept asking me the same question over and over again. Then his colleague asked me, what's your name, sir? Then writes it down, right? And then, so what's your name? You've just written it down. Tell me your name.
Oh, moron.
Are you going to tell me your name, or are we going to take this on, you know, we're going to take this further? Then his mate steps out of the car, obviously familiar with the routine. What's your name, sir? I said, I've just told him you know. Tell the officer your name. I mean, totally illegal, completely illegal. How would you prove it? 3 coppers and you in a lay-by. How would you ever prove that?
Yeah.
What's your address? Do you want the address? Because I just moved. I said, do you want my address or the address the car's registered at? Just tell me your address. Like that.
God, that's unbelievable.
And I said, well, the thing is, if I tell you my address and then you check it on your little radio, it's not going to correspond with my number plate. And that's why I asked, you know, made the point.
Sure.
Went through my bag, my checkbook, the stubs in my checkbook. He did one of those
all he's
PNC checks. Yeah, it's just speeding. He did a PNC check on the, I think they do it on the car and on me. And he was from Maidstone, and he was a little dumpy guy. And if you're listening, or anyone who knows the man I'm talking about, he used to go around, this is like 5 or 6 years ago, in an unmarked police car, quite a lot. He was about middle 40s, slightly balding, if I remember rightly. You were the biggest arse I ever met in my life, and I just hope, somewhere along the line, that miserable things happen to your anatomy involving worms. I really hope that.
Yeah.
Because this man was totally breaking the law. You know, he's a public servant.
But we'll get away with it 100 times out of 100.
Yeah. I think it's because, you know, they think young guy, I mean, I was 25 or 6 at the time or something.
But that's the danger with people upholding the law. Who regulates them?
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
It's always dangerous when they regulate themselves, isn't it?
And in an odd way, I mean, every time I've ever been pulled up, 9 times out of 10, they've really been all right. But I'll tell you what, I have experienced a lot, and you know the deliberate police double act of one being nice, one being moody?
Yeah.
I mean, that really does happen.
Yeah.
One of them is all speech and, you know, hello sir, how you doing? You know, you do realise you're going slightly fast, you know, I'm going to have to give you a ticket and all that old... Fine, you know, if you do it, you know.
Sure.
And another one walks around your car, like, looking, never smiles, just walks around your car looking. And you kind of almost feel you've got to speak to that one because you want to confirm that this man is the most miserable man in the world. So you say something like, so which station are you from? Bromley. That's all right, okay. Hello?
I know, God help us when the Dunkin' Donuts take off here. They will become those American coppers, won't they?
And the last time I got pulled with the double act routine, there was something slightly wrong with my headlight, and the miserable one whispered to the other one, sort of, well, they thought I was out of earshot. He said, headlight there, you know. And the other one obviously went, oh, you know, we've already nicked him for speeding. Don't, you know, I'm sure we'll get it sorted out. But yeah, that's strange. But there was a guy, back to the plot. Have you ever pretended you were a copper? There was a guy who got done a little while ago of going around and pulling cars up. Like in the middle of
amusement?
Yeah, he was doing the sort of plain clothes thing, flashing. I think he had some kind of half-baked uniform on, and he pulled cars up on the motorway. You do realise you, and just got... and when he got stopped, eventually, they said, are you impersonating a police officer? And he said, yeah, I am. Which is in fact, he was quite honest about it. He said, yes, I am, and you're under arrest.
I was going to say flashing his lights, but if it was a policeman flashing other things...
Well, yeah.
That would be
You're under arrest. No, you are. No, you're under arrest.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's get this right,
You're
sir.
telling me I'm under arrest.
But did you see that at Wimbledon this year when they had this German comedian dressed as a British police officer?
Yeah.
Live on BBC. He grabbed a champagne bottle and downed it.
That's right.
And then the real coppers came and said, you can't show that on TV.
Yeah.
We'll get a bad reputation.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
Because that will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Being a black people's got nothing to do with it.
The Metro...
Yeah.
The Metropolitan Police, you know, that's right. The cleanest image in the world, lads, of course. You know, oh, you can't show a police officer drinking alcohol on the television. We might get a bad name. We don't want that, do we? We don't want that.
Because this German comedian was weird, really weird, Derek, and he just came into shot. They're interviewing these people, you know, drinking Pimm's in the rain at Wimbledon.
That's right.
You know, whoa, reading the Daily Mail. And this policeman came in and just downed a bottle of champagne, and it was so surreal.
They got very upset about it, didn't they?
They did, oh, yeah.
So have you ever impersonated a copper, is one of the questions there. Bizarre ways you found out about this show as well. All the others, so I saw it in a public laboratory. Did anybody ever go to a real freak show? Guess which celeb came into my store as well. Oh, yeah, what's the best way to get rid of spots? We were talking about spots last night, weren't we? And that thing is like... When this thing is getting big, I've got 2.
It's funny, I always get them on my chin as well.
But there must be a method, right?
No, there's not.
Without going in a shop and buying some potion.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, like natural methods.
Natural methods of getting rid of spots.
Yeah.
The quickest way.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever used... Steam is good.
Steam?
Do you ever go to saunas?
Yeah, I haven't been rude, but I'm a sauna king.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then
not those kind of saunas.
You know how spots actually happen.
Not anal saunas.
Yeah, of course. But the... you sort of, it's to do with your sweat pores, yeah? And if you sweat a lot and wash regularly, you should clean them out.
But that's kind of prevention, isn't it?
Oh, prevention's always better than cure. Don't let them get to the stage where it's...
No, but we're talking about when you've got them. You know, I've got a couple of old, you know, porkers on the old lips here.
The worst thing you can do is... the worst thing you can do is sort of, you know, damage the skin, because that's the natural process of the kind of dirt being expelled from your body, yeah? You have to...
You have to pop a spot, I'm sorry.
I know, yeah.
Isn't it the most satisfying thing as well?
Well, it depends which one it is. If you
painful, but...
Oh, yeah. If you get it properly, and you know when you've got it, and you know when you haven't really got it.
Yeah, and you can still...
You just think, oh, no,
there's a bit left in there.
And it won't come out, you know? Anyway.
There's certain creams you can get that are quite good. They dry your dirt and your pores out, yeah?
Thank you, Dr. Heron. Be on Anna's show next week.
Is there anything you don't know? Knows everything.
So all of that, and whatever else you want to say, coming up on the programme, of course, Hugh Grant a bit later on, where we chatted to him a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And Ambrose is here with film detail and all these things and whatever else you want to say. Don't go away, David. We've got Kerry coming on too.
I don't watch much TV as such, don't choose my video. I am happy with my tranny, it don't need remote control. It stimulates my grey stuff, operates my laughing gear. 'Cause Ian's Bowling's here.
Talk Radio's Matchmaker is fast becoming the best way for Talk Radio singles to meet new people. You can enroll in Talk Radio's Matchmaker free of charge on 0808 100 1089. Simply tell us the kind of person you'd most like to meet. Then let the MatchLink system go to work seeking out your most compatible matches. We'll only match you with other singles that share your interests and are looking for someone just like you. Call Talk Radio's Matchmaker today and let us help you find your perfect match. 0808 100 1089.
Introducing Sunraysia's Dan Presser, his mum Ruby, and his younger son Bram.
Why are you throwing that boomerang, Bram?
History has it that over 130 years ago, the MacArthur family from Devonshire, England, planted the first prune trees in Australia.
Careful with that boomerang, Bram. That's the same family that founded Australia's wool industry.
Yes, it certainly is, and everyone knows the high quality of Australia's merino wool.
And it is said the MacArthurs developed the best prune trees in the whole wide world.
It's the descendants of these very same trees from which Sunraysia makes its prune juice.
Sunraysia prune juice is a good source of vitamin C and dietary fibre.
Sunraysia prune juice has no preservatives, no artificial flavours, and no sugar added either.
From Devonshire to Australia, and now back to Devonshire again, just in time for tea and scones.
Trust Sunraysia to take their prune juice to the UK, Dan.
You can now find Sunraysia prune juice in the fruit juice aisle of selected Sainsbury's stores. 15 pence of your purchase price of Sunraysia 1 litre prune juice is donated to the Cancer Research Campaign.
Join me, Andy Houlihan and Tony Lockwood in the Sports Zone from 2.
After England, it's back to the domestic scene as we look ahead to Manchester United's clash with Liverpool.
We'll have reaction, of course, to all the day's breaking stories and all your calls.
Only on your station for sport news and views, Talk Radio. That almost mixed.
Good, yeah.
Let's try it again. Nearly. Can we stop that? Thank you. 08700 40 50 60. And coming up, it's Urban Eddie's Urban Myth of the Day, which involves...
breast implants.
Breast implants. We will say no more. We will say no more. Hugh Grant is here in under an hour. Well, just over an hour. Just over an hour, Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
And film detail. David, how you doing?
Actually, I'm just about to get cut off.
You got cut off?
I've just run out of credit.
You're joking?
I'm not.
What are you on, a mobile?
Yeah.
You should have told us. We'd have called you back.
Oh, God. Do you want the number?
Well, you're still going to run out of credit, aren't you? Oh, he's gone. 08700 40... Oh, he's on like a, pay as you thingy. 08700 40 50 60. Don't go away. Paul with you in just a second. If you've impersonated Copper, we need to know about this thing. Hello, Kerry.
Hello there. Hey, how about Freaky Friday? The reason I was going to hobble down to the phone box because I'd broken my foot and actually bung in the 10p's to call you. I might have run out of credit too.
That's very true.
Yeah. You speaking about impersonations has just reminded me of something. I wasn't exactly impersonating a copper, but the old Bill, the two that you mentioned before, the grumpy one and the nice guy, we called them because someone pulled up in front of us, really sharpish, back to front baseball cap he had, rings on every finger, and virtually did a runner. When the old Bill arrived, they said, oh, well, we're going to do you for dangerous driving, we think.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
I said, why? Hang on a minute. They decided that we may well have been speeding due to the little skid marks in the road where we'd stopped.
I don't believe it.
It's outrageous.
Well, because it was so outrageous, and I wasn't driving, my friend's got no points on his licence. I said, I'm not having this. So when he got the old producer and the gubbins saying, driving without due care and attention, I said, no, I'm not having this. So it got referred to...
So they didn't see you doing this?
No, we called them on the
called
mobile.
them?
Lunch hour time, going
And they
out
said,
from work.
well, how could they have deduced that you were driving without due care and attention?
The skid marks in the road.
Well, weren't they with the other driver, surely?
The other driver, he had a number unobtainable phone. He gave a wrong address, and still they chose to put this through Woolwich Magistrates Court. So I said, no,
So the other driver had been stopped, had he?
Yeah, oh yeah, they took details, but his details were incorrect because he'd given them to us in case of insurance.
How would you stop the other driver then?
He'd pulled up, he'd driven across in front of us,
Oh,
across
right.
the junction.
Yeah.
So immediately got on the mobile. This was in a lunch hour, so it was all sort of packed in. I said, no, I'm not having this. So the case got referred to Crown Court because I wrote an eloquent letter and said, no, this isn't right. When we walked into the Crown Court...
Crown Court? A jury and everything?
Well, it's the one up at somewhere off Oxford Street, you know.
Well, it don't matter where it was, but I mean, there was a jury there, was there?
Yeah. As we've gone in,
Blimey,
you
go
go
on.
through a little narrow sort of courtyard, because I was dead nervous about this, because I said, no, we don't need legal representation. We can't afford it. This is justice. I'm here to say, you know, like, this is what happened, and we're not having it. As we've walked through, like, the narrow little courtyard, there's the geezer in a sort of, like, little glass box that takes your details through to Court 4, through to Court 2, whatever else. He glanced up at me and said, you representing Mr. Patel? I didn't say yes, and I didn't say no. He said, through to Court 4, please. I thought, my God, I've got a navy blue suit with sort of like work sort of buttons on, you know, the smarty pie job is. He must think I'm the solicitor. Representing me, straight through to Court 4. I sat there shaking like a leaf thinking, oh my God, no, I'm going to have to get in the box, and they think now that I'm going to represent him.
The same case?
Same case. The copper came out and he said, he looked at me and he said, have you got the details? Have you got the insurance? Have you got so-and-so, so-and-so? So I had all the details in my bag. So I said, yes, certainly. So gave him all the details. He tootled off, went into the Court 4. About 10 minutes later, I am freaking my chicken, believe me. He came back out, gave me the paperwork and said, case dismissed, insufficient evidence, bye-bye. Just like that. So I wasn't, and like I said, I wasn't intending to be any kind of representation. I was just there to represent justice. There's another great one too. I was at Toronto Airport, I was coming home from a holiday, and I had my smarty pie suit on, and there was thousands and thousands of people, and God knows how many different sections, a bit like Heathrow but bigger. And all of a sudden, there's a parting of the ways, and comes through this guy, uniform jobby, that said, this way, please, this way. Great parting of the ways. I walked through all these millions of people. He said, your plane's there, ma'am. I said, pardon? How do you know which is my plane? Which is my exit? He said, well, you are the stewardess, aren't you, madam? Just because of the suit. And my little Ayrton Senna badge sort of must have looked like one of the emblems of the airline.
Well, you see, that in that kind of case, that's almost worth... This is another subject we've done before, and doubtless we could bring up again, is being mistaken for somebody else and actually carrying it through. And we've done it sort of 4 or 5 times over the yonks. Steve Phelps says... It is true that Michael Jackson put in a multi-million-dollar bid for the Elephant Man's bones, but he was turned down emphatically by the British Museum, where the bones are still kept. And Clint's inquest was as bent as a 9-bob note. Does he count as a one-man freak? No. But yeah, and he lives in a very dusty house, doesn't he? He doesn't clean his house. James says, comments, a few years back, I came down from the stairs, roughly 7 o'clock in the morning, finding a man completely slaughtered, looking at the cupboards in his underwear. What a strange place to keep cupboards. Dear Mr. Collins, you wanted stories of celebrities who bought something from your shop. Sadly, my story is about Keith Chegwin. Should we carry it on? It's a Keith Chegwin story. I mean, is that...
Hey, it could be a knockout.
I was busy at Aldgate KFC, making chicken crispy, when the blonde-haired buffoon Cheggers paraded in. He acted shy, as if he was trying to avoid people noticing him. He didn't have to worry. Nobody did. Well, you obviously did. And the jesting monster carted off a whole family bucket for himself. Now, that's not fair, because you don't know that. You don't know that. On the subject of freak shows, this comes from Colonel Sanders, this fax, by the way. On the subject of freak shows, I went to one in America, and a more seedy kaleidoscope of human life you have never seen. All manner of bods, conjoined twins, disfigured people, although it's not what you'd imagine, i.e. circus tents with people standing on podiums and a man in a stripy suit shouting, roll up, roll up. For example, Mr. Two Toes, I jest not, milled around for photo opportunities and a general chat. There were loads of pictures, quite a few exhibits like two-headed snakes, and then there were the freaks, a la a woman whose anus was on back to front, a man who could put his skin around his neck down to his stomach. Very scary. That's too scary.
Her anus was on back to front.
I think she was probably just naked. You just saw it that way. That's craziness. Craziness. Right, where are we going? We're going over here to... 5. Okay, don't go away, Del. Paul, how you doing, Paul?
Not too bad, thanks.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I've just got a bizarre way that I've heard of your radio show.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was out driving with my wife going shopping, and she listens to another radio station. I won't mention it.
Yep.
But there was some bloke ranting and raving about Ian Collins. I think his name was Crispy Boyles or something like that.
Yeah, old Crispy Boyles.
This was a few weeks ago, and he was ranting and raving about because apparently you'd had a go at him on your show.
The great big bum.
Yeah. So I thought, I've got to have a listen to this. He's got to be, So I've been listening every night since. So I drive over night time. So it's
So it's thank you to the full Crispy.
Yeah, I'll get to listen to you 5 nights a week.
Good stuff. I'm glad you're there, Paul.
Yeah, there's not many of us left.
What do you mean there's not many of you left? Thank you very much.
Okay, right, thanks.
Cheers, Paul. Shut up.
What was that last comment?
I think it's one of those unfortunate things where he didn't mean to say that, and he's going to kick himself all day thinking, what did I say then at the end? There's not many of us left. It's one of those, those standard comments that you put in, that people put in, when they don't know what to say. It's like, when you're washing your car, and the next door neighbour goes, can you wash mine next, please? What? No, actually, I can't. I've got no intention of washing your car.
I think it's the funniest joke in the world. No one's ever said that before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think he did?
It's the best one, though. Newsagents, right? Newsagents. £20 note. And they look up at it, and the guy goes, I printed it this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Do you know what I think he meant? He might have been talking about that woman with the anus on back to front.
What, there's not many of those left?
Yeah.
He could have been.
Possibly.
Maybe he was. I'm sorry, I don't get that, Eddie, actually. I was trying to get that connection there.
No,
were you just defending him?
No, you might have been talking about the anus back to front people.
Oh, he could have been.
So not many of us.
You never know. Yeah,
maybe
that's true. Maybe he's got his anus back to front.
Very possibly.
Yeah, Crispy Balls has sent, at least, half a dozen of his 36 listeners to our show.
Yeah.
That we know of, which is good.
Oh, he's done us big favours.
Yeah, he has, because, every time he walks into our little trap, and he starts talking about us.
And he does, every time.
And
every single
away he goes.
Do you know how old he is?
Crispy?
Yeah.
It's about 26.
24, 25.
No, 26 now.
Well, didn't he...
I know that for a fact.
Didn't Nicky Campbell have a massive go at him or something?
Yeah, I think they all have.
Yeah, well,
so should. Radio, right?
No, because he's a no-talent jerk, that's why. And deserves to be exploited as such. Yes. And he's just a big fat... Imagine the sweat that man must put... I bet it... Oh, God. I bet his armpits are like chip pans at night. Honestly. And we never did understand... We thought he was gay at one point, but we're not absolutely sure. So, you can't actually say that. But I just think the kind of high court thing might be quite fun. It's just that, we said that one day, and then, the next day in the Daily Mirror, it said he's got a girlfriend.
I suppose we could say...
Shock exclusive.
Well, I can say I've always wondered if he was.
If it ever came out, then we wouldn't be that surprised.
Yeah, that's right.
Apparently
you can wonder. I mean, we can't prove.
No.
He's got an anus on his face. He's one of those people.
That's true. He's part of that same freak show.
He does. Have you ever read any interviews he's given? Because he does seem to be one of these people who, on the radio, is shouting and being very boisterous and confident. But in the interviews, he's very apologetic, and he seems to be somebody who doesn't understand that having a big...
What, you mean you don't understand that it's good to talk about him in this kind of way?
No. But he doesn't seem to understand that he's...
Yeah, okay. 08700 40 50 60. Colin, don't go away. And we've got Del the cabbie coming in as well. Lines are open.
Talk Radio's Matchmaker is fast becoming the best way for Talk Radio singles to meet new people. You can enroll in Talk Radio's Matchmaker free of charge on 0808 100 1089. Simply tell us the kind of person you'd most like to meet. Then let the MatchLink system go to work seeking out your most compatible matches. We'll only match you with other singles that share your interests and are looking for someone just like you. Call Talk Radio's Matchmaker today and let us help you find your perfect match. 0808 100 1089.
Introducing Sunraysia's Dan Presser, his mum Ruby, and his younger son Bram.
Why are you throwing that boomerang, Bram?
History has it that over 130 years ago, the MacArthur family from Devonshire, England planted the first prune trees in Australia.
Careful with that boomerang, Bram.
That's the same family that founded Australia's wool industry.
Yes, it certainly is, and everyone knows the high quality of Australia's merino wool.
And it is said the MacArthurs developed the best prune trees in the whole wide world.
It's the descendants of these very same trees from which Sunraysia makes its prune juice.
Sunraysia prune juice is a good source of vitamin C and dietary fibre.
Sunraysia prune juice has no preservatives, no artificial flavours, and no sugar added either.
From Devonshire to Australia, and now back to Devonshire again, just in time for tea and scones.
Trust Sunraysia to take their prune juice to the UK, Dan.
You can now find Sunraysia prune juice in the fruit juice aisle of selected Sainsbury's stores. 15 pence of your purchase price of Sunraysia 1 litre prune juice is donated to the Cancer Research Campaign.
Remember what you heard.
You have just made, with your wife's kick up the backside, an extremely important step, which is you have recognised that however habituated you are to lying, your wife won't accept those lies in your marriage and it will bring your marriage to an end.
And remember where you heard it. On the new Talk Radio. Your station for sports news and views.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside. And things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines. And the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too.
Stand by for Urban Eddie's Urban Myth of the Day. It involves breast implants, and we can't say actually any more than that at this point in time. Hugh Grant in around about 1 hour, I'd say. It's 1 hour and counting. It's 1 hour and counting. And he's just a nice, fun bloke, so we'll let you know what happened there. Ambrose here with film detail, and of course you on the blower as well. This is Del the cabbie.
Hello, Ian.
How you doing, Del?
Good morning, mate. And
Good
all the
stuff.
chaps. And all the chaps up there.
Yeah.
Had a nice, good show as usual, mate.
Good stuff. What do you got for us, Del?
I've got a freak show for you.
Have you been?
I've been to a freak show. Now, I'll try to be careful about this one because it's a bit dubious, to say the least. And not to mention, dodgy. About 23 years ago,
yeah,
while I was serving in Malaya, doing a bit of the old jungle training.
Yeah.
And we had 4 days R&R in Singapore.
Okay.
Now, Singapore has this, or used to have this famous street called Boogie Street, which you've probably heard of, which was nothing, Boogie Street.
Yeah.
Which was nothing basically about a mile-long street with nothing but pawn shops, sex
We
bars.
all know what goes on in Boogie Street.
Oh, dodgy as hell. Anyway, me and a few of my mates, now, that was my first posting, by the way, when I first joined. Now, me and a few of my mates decided to pop into this live show place. The usual goings on in there. And then they wheeled out this bloke. Now, he's got to be about 40 years old, this bloke at the time, wrinkled and about 3 teeth in his mouth.
Yeah.
That's all he had left. The rest of them looked like they'd just been knocked out or eaten away by something or whatever. And these two girls appeared with him. Now, they're all nude, the girls. He had a pair of shorts on. I thought, what's going on there? Now, apparently, it's going to be a live sort of sex show thing with this bloke. They dropped his pads, and Ian, I'm not a religious person, mate, but I'll swear, anyway, the man had 2 Watsits.
2 Watsits? No way!
He had 2 Watsits, mate, and I thought to myself, nah, you're having a laugh, ain't you? No, I've had a drink at the time, but...
2 bits of old length?
he had 2 meats and 2 veg.
2? And fully established?
Yes, definitely, mate. They weren't impressive size-wise, they're tiny, but he had 2 straight up, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing it, mate. I had a drink in me, and I spat it all over the bloke in front of me.
Oh, my...
I saw it.
So what occurred? Did these 2 women get it?
They were performing, nothing happened. I'm trying to be diplomatic here.
Yeah.
Nothing stood up, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? But the girls were playing with them anyway. They had like 1 each. And I was sitting there thinking, what the... kid hell's going on here, sort of thing.
Of course you do, yeah. Well, that's the first thing.
As soon as you said, freak show, that jumped into my head straight away.
I've got
to ring in with this one.
That comes safely under the umbrella, Del, a freak show. I don't think we can...
Well, it was.
Anyone who's got 2 winkles, I'm sorry.
No, man had 2. But I'll tell you what, though, Ian. I was in Amsterdam about 4 years ago, and I did...
This is a bit of a habit of yours, Del.
No, I was playing football out there with some mates.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to one of the bars as you do. I mean, don't tell me anyone that goes to Amsterdam who don't go nowhere near Canal Street is a liar.
Yeah, of course they are.
Believe them. But no, we went down there, went in this place. There was a film shot on the wall that blocked that two there. But these two are massive though. But they looked a bit dodgy, these two. They didn't look real.
Didn't look quite so real.
But this bod in Malaya,
Real.
they were real.
The real McCoy.
2 meat and 2 veg.
2 real McCoys. Nice one, Del.
Talk to you later, buddy.
See you later. Ta-da. There he is, Del, the cabbie, doing his thing. And he saw a man with 2 winkles, and that's too freaky. What do we got here? Les says, is this better? It probably is better, actually, in a weird way. Because that way you only get one line that could possibly go wrong. Whereas the other way, yeah, it probably is better. You can write right across the page, though. Obviously, this was going to be a fax to James Whale earlier on. Yeah, that's fine, Les. Sock them into us in that respect. Dear Ian, celebs, a very minor one. Jimmy Hill is often seen shopping in Burgess Hill in West Sussex. At a cart boot sale in Brighton a few months ago, Chris Eubank bought a load of old paperbacks off me for a £5. That's his neck of the woods, isn't it? Toilets, Sussex Council spent thousands building a new toilet block. Come the day of the official opening, they found someone had broken in and completely stunk the place out. Thank you, Alan, for that. Right, 08700 40 50 60. We haven't got anybody so far who's impersonated a copper, have we?
No, we just had lost about 100 calls in, like...
Yeah, they just all went zoom.
That's very weird.
That's very weird. Our calls just went funny there. We've got, don't go away, David. With you in a second. So these are some of the bits we got up and running. Guess what celebrity came into my shop and, hey, guess what they bought? I still think the Paul Daniels with the a single clementine is a nice thought. Did anybody ever go to a freak show? Well, Dell did and saw a man with two winkles. I saw it in a public lavatory, whatever it was, we want to hear about it. I found a stranger in my house, there's another one. Bizarre ways you found out about this show, pretending you're a copper, and the best natural ways to get rid of spots. Other than going down the chemist and buying all those creams, I swear don't really do anything. I know that tea tree oil is really handy and really good, but probably, only, like, on it's an antiseptic. So kind of on a spot that is sealed, it ain't really, I'm guessing, wouldn't do anything.
Yeah. The
tea tree.
The key is when it's coming up and it's all red, but it hasn't turned into the yellow head.
Yeah.
Putting it horribly.
See, this one here, I knew, I felt a bump on my skin. Very, very smooth, you know?
Is there any way you can get rid of it? It's turned into a bump.
So no, the only thing this is going to do now is going to get a big head on it. It's got to be squeezed. And at the moment it's not ready to be. And if I squeezed it now, all you do is break the skin and make an unsightly kind of...
Yeah, you'd have a nightmare.
You'd have a nightmare on your hands.
That's okay, because you're actually damaging the healing process by doing that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you have to do it, you know?
Mm. Yeah, you got to resist the temptation.
Otherwise you walk around with a big spot on you.
I can't like, squeeze it. I have to needle it.
Oh, no.
Do you?
Yeah, I needle it.
Well, it depends what sort of spot it is. I mean, there's different types of spots, isn't there?
Well, you have to needle a yellow head. I can't squeeze it. Too painful.
Don't you ever put any...
Makes my eyes water.
Cream on it?
Well, that doesn't do anything.
Oh, if you get the right cream, it does.
Yeah, if you get those kind of medically prescribed ones, then I like methylated spirits, though, aren't they? No wonder it gets rid of them.
They work the treat, though.
Well, once you've got a yellow head, they get rid of a...
No, but when it gets to the stage where it's sore, yeah. Yeah,
but that's kind of the same thing, isn't it? I mean, at that point, you've already got the spot.
Mm. Well, like I said before, prevention.
So, yeah, but I mean, the sauna's all right. Saunas can bring you out in spots initially, though.
Yeah, because you're getting the dirt out.
Yeah.
Some people say toothpaste.
Yeah, it's toothpaste.
That's right. Some people say aftershave on cold sores.
Oh.
It dries it up.
Yeah, alcohol.
Aftershave.
Yeah,
cold sores are horrible things. Don't you just hate that tingling feeling?
Oh,
yeah.
I thought I was getting one yesterday. I thought that's all I need, a cold sore and 2 spots all in the same area. I look like I got some kind of bad dose or something. Bad news. So just shortly after the news, we got Urban Eddie's Urban Myth.
Hurrah.
And it is like an implant kind of tale.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard it yet either. Will it be true? Will it not? I mean, you know, Urban is the man that knocks them out.
I think this one's true as well.
Do you think so?
Well, we'll see, shall we?
Reserve my judgment on that, basically, you know, in the interest of consistency, because I've never believed one so far. 08700 40 50 60. Bundles at this end. Anything you want to say, shout us up. Hugh Grant still to come, of course. Film details still to come, and this is Laura, who's in Enfield.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya.
What you got for us?
No, just saying I'm driving at the moment, really, and I'm a very aggressive driver.
Why are you driving at the moment?
I'm just coming home from work.
What do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Have we spoken before?
No.
All right.
No, we haven't.
Anyway.
I've never listened to your programme before.
Fantastic, isn't it?
It's great. Well, I can't see why you're not on earlier. I really don't know. Why are you on earlier? You're really funny.
Yeah, but when you're on earlier, they try and make you less funny. Because you know, like...
I've noticed. I've listened to Derek Hatton. I've got.
But you can't tell Willie stories when you're on earlier. You see, that's the problem.
Yeah, but then you should have more people listening because you're really funny. We're missing out, you know.
Hey, Laura, I'm going to send you some money in the post now.
Oh, I love you.
So anyway. You're an aggressive driver.
I am actually.
Have you got a Peugeot?
I haven't. No, I've got an Astra.
Oh, have you? All right. Okay.
Anyway, so I get really aggressive, and a few weeks ago there was a truck in front of me. Well, he wasn't in front of me, just decided he wanted to go in front of me.
Yeah.
And he just pulled right in front. I had to brake really quickly. Okay, and I said, I finally managed to catch him up, and we was at the light, so I thought, right, I've had enough now. And I've always wanted to, like, get out and say, excuse me, I'm an off-duty police officer, and blah, blah, blah. So I thought, well, I'm going to do this. So I got out of the car, and he was like, 10 foot high in this truck. So I said to him...
What were you wearing, Laura, by the way?
I was just wearing an ordinary dress, you know what I mean?
So it wasn't anything that was it wasn't like a white blouse and a black skirt or anything?
No, I didn't look like a policewoman at all. But I just said to him, I wanted to, like, freak him out or something. I mean, I couldn't do a lot, could I? But I thought, I just said to him, look, I'm an off-duty policewoman. I've got your number, and we're gonna look out for you, and, and actually he told me to shut up.
Did he? Even after you told him that?
Yeah, he told me to shut up. And I said, but then I didn't sound like a policewoman then, because I told him to get out, and I was going to punch his face in.
Well, you did blow it at that point, Laura, you know?
I did. And he just said, shut up, you silly cow, and the lights were gone by then, and and I was left really fuming, and the cars were going mad because, the lights had changed and stuff, and I was still there screaming my head off.
He was having none of it, was he?
He went...
Oh, well, at least you tried. I mean, fair play for trying.
Well, I just think, I've just learnt to drive right, and it's so annoying. I can't believe the London traffic is just something else, don't you think?
Oh, it's nuts.
And cut you up and everything, and as I say, I'm really aggressive. I want to scream and go after them, which is bad, of course, isn't it? But, it's amazing how people drive, and
it is nuts.
Their life in their hands and whatever, but that's a different subject. But
there you go.
It's lovely talking to you.
You too, Laura.
And keep up the good work.
Keep making people better. See you later.
Okay, bye.
Cheers. 08700 40 50 60. I had a guy down in London, all right? Down in London, this was yesterday. Anyone who drives in that area or has been down there will know what I'm talking about. Is the embankment, which kind of runs on the Thames. And, there's sort of two or three, sort of two lanes, really, of traffic going one way and two lanes going the other. And I'm driving along in one lane, and there's a guy behind me who starts... Now, this is what I never understand, right, is that people who think that every road is a motorway, and if you happen to be in a certain lane and they want to overtake you, you've got to move over. And you think, hang on, don't you just want to stop the car and just say, look, where's your logic here? Why are you asking me to... If I move over, I then become in the wrong lane. I'll be in the totally wrong lane for where I want to be. And if I get stuck in the wrong lane, then I'm never going to be able to go where I want to go. So I'm in the right-hand lane, okay? I'm following the car in front of me, who's some distance in front of me, incidentally. And then on my left, there's a load of traffic there. So essentially, I'm overtaking some of the other cars as well. Not going very fast. Guy behind me, flashing away. And I'm thinking, why is he flashing? I've no reason to move. Number one, I'm not going too slow. In fact, I was going a little bit over the top. I think it's a 30-mile-an-hour limit. I was probably doing 35. So it wasn't that. I had no reason to move into the other lane. Had I done, I'd have wound up in the wrong lane, because eventually I want to turn off right. And so this guy, what does he do? He goes round a traffic island onto the other side of the road, right by the Thames, you know, it's sort of 10 o'clock at night, quite busy, and overtakes me that way. And the only consolation was that he hit a set of red lights and wound up being, you know, one car in front of me all the way. And I thought, what the... How would he ever equate that logic? Did he not just think at the time? How... I mean, what's the makeup of that person? If that person is capable of doing that, what else are they capable of doing? If you see what I'm saying. 08700 40 50 60. Is anybody making a cuppa, by the way? Just out of interest, because if they are, I'd put myself down for. Oh, cheers, Eddie. Yeah, that'd be fab. Right, okay. Thank you to Nigel in Stevenage. Thank you for that. We've got John in Belgium coming on as well. Let me just go to Kelly first of all. Don't go away, David. I haven't forgotten you. Kelly, hey. Oh, she's gone. Where'd she go?
No idea.
She had a cure for spots as well.
She did, yeah.
Bit of a show.
Very sexy as well. All right.
From Jenny, who says, just a little something about freak shows. My sister was asked by a circus to be an exhibition as the world's tallest woman. Or some cack like that. Luckily, they wouldn't ask me, even though I was there at the time. They wanted the tallest one, obviously. How bizarre. And yes, mention the chat room. Go to the chat room, voiceofthecommonman.com. That's our chat room. From James, Ian, love your show, but when are you going to show any more weird stories? You mean play any weird stories? Yeah, well, we're looking into that at the moment. In a big way. 08700 40 50 60. Right, with you in a second, John. Let me just nip over here to David, who's in Dumfries. David.
Hello.
Got your back, sir. That's all right, no worries.
Oh, these things are mental.
Oh, they're nuts. Anyway.
Before I got into... Oh, by the way...
Sorry?
Last night, I was listening to your show.
Yeah.
About your Voice of the Common Man.
Sure.
Supposed to be writing a book.
Yeah, it's an autobiography for the radio starting next week, yeah.
Yeah. I said, well, I'll start off with a poem, but there was something I was wanting to talk to you about the... You know that Clements? The Clements that was bought?
The Clementine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he liked them, but not a lot. No,
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
You could be right.
Anyway, I'll go on with this. The voice of the common man we have never before have seen. He's going to write a book, alas, of a common human being. But what of common? The word, I mean, what it is exactly. Does it mean? Is it me or him that are different? Like different human beings? Of course. We're all of common people. Of that I'm prepared to bet. So if this common voice will talk, he'll talk but also listen to the other common people who don't want...
I hate to tell you this, David, but your mobile is... Stay where you are, David. Your mobile is so darn dicky that it, like, lost half of that, which is a bit of a waste, really. I mean, we don't want that waste to, you know, manifest itself on your call. But thank you anyway. So send it to me in a letter or something, or we'll get somebody to read it. Oh, dear. John's in Belgium. I'm going to be with you in a second, John. Do bear with me. 08700 40 50 60. We've only had Emma who pretended to be a police officer so far, which was a great story, but nobody else has picked up on it. As if you ever pretended to be a copper, if that was your thing and you did it, and however, if it worked, fantastic. Call us now, 08700 40 50 60. No, it was Laura, wasn't it? It was Emma that we lost. It was Emma we lost, wasn't it?
No, it was Kelly we lost.
No, Kelly we lost. It was...
Emma did a good...
It was Emma. No, it was Emma.
No, it was Laura who did the police thing.
Where have I got Emma from?
Emma was a call about... Emma was that one who came with that
Chislehurst.
Fergie.
Oh, the idiot. Yeah, it was Laura. Yeah, Laura. I was the only one who's done the copper thing so far. Impersonating copper stories. I found a stranger in my house. Strange things you saw in a public lavatory. Nothing involving penetration. We've got to make that quite clear, because that's not that unusual. And guess which celebrity came into my shop, and hey, guess what they purchased? Did I tell you that I saw Lenny Bennett down the road the other day?
Did you?
Just literally down the road. I'll tell you where he was going. You know, Eddie Izzard's in Lenny, the stage play about Lenny Bruce.
Want to see that?
And he was actually heading towards that theatre. So whether he was going there, coincidence, his name's Lenny, I don't know. And he had his arm around, I assume it was his wife, and I think the other person with him was his daughter. And I thought, it's Lenny Bennett, everybody, I can't believe it. Lenny Bennett there. Mr. Lucky Ladders, was it Lucky Ladders?
Yeah, I think so,
that daytime quiz thing he used to do? Bless him.
That legend.
Legend.
And I saw Jerry Sadovich walking down Camden High Street.
You did, didn't you?
Which gave me a lot of pleasure.
A lot of pleasure.
Did he have his hat on?
I followed him for about like a couple of seconds. I thought, shall I say hello? And I thought, nah, you know.
I'll tell you what I did see. I don't know if you're familiar with this guy, Pete. You know George Melly, the jazz guy?
Yeah, I have heard of him.
Yeah, he wears big hats, right? I saw him on the tube, and this guy was wearing, he was wearing exactly what he wears on television. Like, I mean, he's the most identifiable person in the world, because he wears these big pinstripe suits and like a big hat in old sort of eccentric jazz terms. Yeah. And I thought, well, you know, when you travel around, you'd think you'd hide it a bit, George Mill, mate.
It's a bit of a plonker.
He didn't look very happy, actually.
Really?
I thought, well, it just doesn't look right wearing all that gear and then sat there looking pissed off, you know? It's just like the wrong thing. The paradox is not working here. 08700 40 50 60. My line's open, don't go away. Coming up, Hugh Grant in the next hour. We've also got Urban Eddie's Urban Myth of the Day. It's a corker. On top of that, you on the phone, the faxes, and Ambrose Heron's here with top film detail. Don't go away.
Oh, shut up.
On the hour, every hour, from the Sky News Centre. This is Talk Radio News.
Miracle baby born. Former DJ faces court on sex charges. QPR match off over meningitis scare. Good morning, it's 4 o'clock. I'm Sophie Benzing. A baby who grew outside his mother's womb has stunned the medical world just by being born. Doctors at London's King's College Hospital say they're amazed Ronan Ingram, who was one of triplets, survived the ectopic pregnancy. Hospital spokesman Nick Samuel says it was amazing for staff to be involved in such a miracle.
It was a major piece of work which took a lot of planning, a lot of consultation with the family and all those involved, and it was a massive team effort from many different specialists throughout the hospital. We are very excited by the development and delighted to have been able to be there for the family.
Unionists opposing Chris Patton's proposals for reforming the RUC are planning a fresh onslaught against his report. DUP leader, the Reverend Ian Paisley, will join bereaved families for a special ceremony at Stormont. He says the report's an insult to the memory of RUC officers killed in Northern Ireland. A former BBC radio DJ is due in court on sex charges. 46-year-old Roger Pond from Gillingham in Kent is charged with 31 sex offences, including raping a man and indecently assaulting a boy under 16. The former BBC Radio Kent disc jockey, who's now a music teacher, will appear before Maidstone Crown Court. Talk Radio Sport and QPR have been forced to cancel this weekend's game with Sheffield United after one of their players, George Colshaw, was diagnosed with meningitis. Colshaw and 3 other players are under observation. The club have closed down their training ground in West London and it won't reopen till next week. Chief Executive Simon Crane says it's a precaution they've had to take.
We've had 1 or 2 problems at the training ground this week with illness and players feeling, shall we say, under the weather. George is one of them. With meningitis, there is a regional plan, health plan, and that kicks straight in. And the advice we had for medical professionals was that in the best interest of the fans, the players, both of this club and of course Sheffield United, who we were due to play at the weekend, in their best interests, playing this game was not an option.
Manchester United should find out today from UEFA whether goalkeeper Massimo Taibi will be able to play in Europe after all. Sir Alex Ferguson says it's the fault of Taibi's former club Venezia that his Champions League registration wasn't completed in time.
Finally, Shakespeare's birthplace is getting a facelift for the next century. A major refurbishment project's underway at his house in Stratford-upon-Avon, which attracts 500,000 visitors every year. Those are the top stories from the Sky News Centre. Talk Radio weather. It could be a bit chilly at first in the morning, but it'll turn into a warm, bright day. Dry virtually everywhere except the far northwest of Scotland. Overnight lows of 8 Celsius, 46 Fahrenheit in Portsmouth, 5 Celsius, 41 Fahrenheit in Aberdeen. Talk Radio News Time, it's 3 minutes past 4.
Why is the emptiness in your heart? Why are you crying out saying, hey, why am I here? Where am I going? What is life all about? Listen!
Hello,
Oh my God, you got to go and get some kind of help.
Stuff you make us listen to is enough to scramble one's brain.
What do you do, Paul?
Yeah, I'm a security guard.
Are you?
Yeah.
Right. Are you a homosexual?
Well, what a good question.
Hello, I've just seen Father Christmas.
Have you?
Yeah, he came overhead.
Did he? Oh dear, your pips have gone. What a shame. Hello, Talk Radio.
You silly man. You silly man. You silly man. You silly man.
Don't like you. You're brill. Yeah, no. And that kind of stuff. Pop up, Pete, ladies and gentlemen. What a waste of time.
Somebody gave my cat ecstasy. He's running around. Listen to him.
That's dog food. Yes, hello.
Chief, Miss Briefy, I'm coming to get you.
No.
Yes, I am.
You can't.
I can.
I'll stick my tongue out at you.
You dirty man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ian Collins on Talk Radio.
Ian Collins and the creatures of the night.
Look, Jerky, I don't need to talk to you.
Brace yourself.
700 40 50 60. Welcome along to the most listened to nighttime show on British radio. It's the one they queue up for, and I'm telling you, we're so busy in this hour that it almost defies belief. Hugh Grant is on the programme. We're talking to him in around about 40 minutes' time. Stick around for all of that. We've also got the film detail coming up, and a whole bunch of stuff. It's the way it is here, you know. Is it somebody accused of being lavatorial? Who the hell would do that?
We sunk to lavatorial levels tonight.
No.
No.
We were always about level, weren't we?
We've talked about impersonating a police officer, celebrities in shops.
I'll tell you.
Yesterday we were talking about we were talking about relationships and the human mind.
I know. There's nothing lavatorial about us at all.
Not at all. It's called diversifying. It's called light and shade. It's called a bit of this and a bit of that.
It's called a great radio show.
It's called the most listened to in the UK at this time of night. Otherwise, you know, we wouldn't be here for 4 years if it didn't work, you know? So if any old trout wants to ring us up and tell us that ain't the case, then on your bike.
Mrs. Thickmitt.
Absolutely. 08700 40 50 60. Right, we're back on the lines. John is in Belgium. Hello, John.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Not so bad.
What do you got for us?
About my son being in a strange house. When he was about 16, 17, he went to a party one night, like kids do, got silly drunk, fell asleep in the garden. In the middle of the night, it started pouring the rain.
Yeah.
So he gets up, climbs through the window in the house because it's all in darkness, took all his wet clothes off. In his pants, he falls asleep on the settee. He gets woke up in the morning by 4 policemen. He'd climbed in the wrong house.
Oh, my life!
Yeah, and it was like, it's never full century or nothing, but the bloke whose house it was made him go to court and everything.
He went to court?
Yeah. went to Magistrates Court, and they put it through to Crown Court, and they see the funny side of it, and they slung it out.
Well, why would the guy want to bother to take it to court, you know? What are these people about?
I don't know, you get some dipsticks, don't you?
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's, you know, worst case scenario, it's just funny.
Yeah.
And that's it. End of story.
The police see the funny side of it, but the bloke whose house it was couldn't see the funny side of it.
Where are you driving to, John?
I'm on my way back from Germany, coming back to Kent.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You got any refugees in the back there?
No, I've got 20 ton of cheese in the back.
Oh, yeah?
So they'll be well fed if there is.
If you get to the other end and you've only got 10, you know what's happened, yeah.
Yeah, mind you, they'll probably be frozen. I'm running at just above freezing.
Oh, blimey. No good in there, then.
No.
Nice one, John.
Okay.
Take it easy. See you later. Ta-da. 08700 40 50 60. Bunches and bunches of stuff going on at this end. Hugh Grant coming up. Film detail coming up. This is Ian, who's in Leeds. Hello, Ian. How you doing?
Hello.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Impersonating a police officer.
Yeah, a couple of instances, actually.
You've done it?
Yeah, I've witnessed one and done one myself.
Okay, fire away.
The one I witnessed, the guy I worked with, he was called Derek Charles Thompson.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And we were both in the Air Force at the time. The ID card he had DC on the front.
Yep.
We were driving through Norwich, and a young lad who was about 7 or 8 year old threw a pine cone at the front of the car, screeched the car to stop, took the ID card out, put his finger over the Royal Air Force bit and said, Detective Constable Thompson. And if you ever do that again, I'll lock you up and throw away the key.
Superb.
Yeah.
Superb.
The one I was involved with is I work in security now, and the previous company I worked for used to be black trousers, white shirt, black tie.
Yep.
Pulled up in the middle of Leeds, guy next to me, dead cool with his girlfriend in the front of the car, no seatbelt on, and on the mobile phone in the hand. Just rolled the window down, shouted at the top of my voice, seatbelt on, phone off. And I saw the phone go out the window.
He threw it out the window?
Yeah.
Blimey.
He actually threw it out the window, the seatbelt...
What, like in panic or something, I was wondering?
Yeah, well, I think it was because I shouted so bloody loud at him,
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And drove off.
Did you do that because you just felt like it, Ian?
I just cannot stand people who use mobile phones while they're driving.
It's an outrage.
I cannot stand it.
There's no need for it at all.
No, it's...
Particularly now you've got those little earpieces.
Yeah, exactly. And I say, and you're talking about weird things happening as well. A guy was talking earlier about the chap who arrived at the front door of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one, again, I was going out with a nurse in Norwich, and we were walking through one of the riverside parks there, and a little guy jumped out of a bush. He jumped out of a bush.
Oh, yeah.
He got a little black armband with Park Inspector written on it. He had a little bag and a torch. And he said, you've got to be careful at this time of night because they are looking for you, and you in particular.
And that was it?
No. Riverside Park, I swung round, grabbed the torch out of his hand, threw it in the water, and he followed it.
What was his game then?
I have no idea whatsoever. It was the wild hair, the wild eyes, the lot.
My life.
And, well...
There's plenty out there, Ian.
The girlfriend at the time burst into tears, and I think he was even more upset because he was fucking wet.
There are plenty out there, mate.
Oh, yes.
All over the show. Listen, thanks very much.
Okay, cheers.
Take care. Set up 08700 40 50 60. That's our number. Don't go away, Mike. Anyone else who's hanging on with you in a second? All that detail, bunches of other stuff as well, and Hugh Grant on the way.
Introducing, all the way from Australia, Sunraysia's Bram Presser and his grandma Ruby.
Granny, what happens to all the pits from the prunes that go into Sunraysia prune juice?
Well, Bram, I'll tell you, but you have to keep it a secret.
Okay, Granny.
Each night, just before midnight, the prune pit plucker magically appears in Sunraysia prune land and picks the pits, leaving behind a pile of plump prunes for Sunraysia to put in their prune juice.
But what about the pits?
The prune pit plucker takes them away because at his home he has a gigantic pile of pits, the fabled prune pit peak.
So you're saying that the prune pit plucker plucks the pits from the premium plump prunes Sunraysia pick to produce their premium prune juice and paddles the piles of pits to the prune palace on Prune Pit Peak?
Precisely.
Sunraysia's prune juice is always bottled in glass to maintain its quality and freshness. Sunraysia is now available at selected Safeway stores.
Now you can top up your pay-as-you-talk phone instantly, just by popping into your local Vodafone store. Well, that was easy, wasn't it?
One of football's great characters, Jan Molby, joins Tom Watt this afternoon from 4. He'll be previewing the weekend's big games with his regular Friday guest, Alvin Martin. Only on your station for sport, news and views, Talk Radio.
Sounds like you're looking for an orangutan to me. Okay, it's not the end of the bloody world. Good God, woman.
Mr. Collins, you don't want my viewpoint.
But you don't know what you're talking about. Shut it. Crazy bent.
Hello, creatures. You lovely people.
Hello? Where did he go? Ugly, ugly dog. Hugh Grant on the way. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Ian.
Mike in Swindon.
Hello, all right.
Beautiful, not bad at all.
About impersonating a police officer.
Yeah.
Well, I get mistaken for a police officer all the time.
Oh, dear.
Yes, all the time. I'm a prison officer.
Oh, right, so you got the similar, yeah.
On my way to work, I've got to go down the M4, and I've bundles of laughs going down the M4 with motorists. I've had blokes who sort of come up right behind me flashing the lights, and then they sort of pulled alongside and had a look and caught the sort of epaulets.
And thought, hello.
Slowed right down, and I had one bloke pull in front, so as he pulled in front, because he really annoyed me,
yeah.
I've got an ID badge, like in a wallet.
Yeah.
So I flashed him, put it up against the window. He then pulled onto the hard shoulder of the M4, and I obviously just carried straight on, left him there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, all the time it happens, and particularly in town, if somebody sort of cuts you up, because then I sort of drive into Bristol, and somebody will cut you up, and they'll have a quick look, and then they'll spend the rest of the journey staring in the mirror.
That's right.
At you.
Because they're not quite sure, are they?
They're not quite sure. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I firmly believe that, despite the illegalities of any of these things, that everybody should, where possible, utilise that facility.
Exactly.
Because there are too many, what's on the road. And funnily enough, I was driving past your place the other day along the M4, and that whole area is notorious for nutters. I'm sure it is.
That's very true.
I'm absolutely sure it is.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, as you say, and there is no better feeling, whether it's right or wrong, and you'll probably get police will say, oh, you shouldn't do that, but there is not, because things like that don't happen. Everybody wants the chance to sort of get even with people who cut them up, and it's just wonderful, to be honest.
Indeed. And I thought it was no coincidence that there I was on the M4, and some nutter just literally I was just going past Swindon, cuts me me up. And, you know, when you're looking for that right word to call someone, and I looked to my left, and of course I saw the big factory anchor, and I thought, hello, yes, that's, you know, divine intervention there. But there we are. Good to talk to you, mate.
Thanks a lot, Ian.
Thanks a lot. Set up. 08700 40 50 60. So even prison guards do that kind of malarkey. Everybody's up to it. So Hugh Grant's on his way, and Film Details on its way, and so much stuff is on its way. It's amazing. And this, as promised, it's Urban Eddie's Friday special, Urban Myth, everybody.
Ooh, go Eddie, go. This involves two people.
Yes.
One of them is Britney Spears, the other one is Pamela Anderson. Now, we all know that Britney Spears went into hospital for a so-called knee operation and came out with very nice enlarged breasts, right?
No, that's not true.
No, but that is a given. That isn't
That's
the
what they
urban myth.
say, isn't it?
Well, that isn't even the urban myth. That is.
Yeah.
We're going to take that as a given.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, just in case her lawyers are listening, I mean, you know, they have categorically said that she hasn't got any
breast implants.
But it's known as a common side effect, isn't it? That you know.
You have your knees down and your
Knees
breasts
down?
get bigger. Anyway, that's all academic to the point.
By the by.
So just start that again, Eddie. Sorry to interject.
Britney Spears has breast implants. At the very same time...
No, you can't say that.
Allegedly, Eddie, Britney Spears has a knee operation.
Yep. And comes out with bigger breasts. According
does not have a
definitely
breast
does
implant.
not have breast implants. According to the rumours.
According to the rumours.
That are not
Right.
true.
That
are not true at all.
Substantially bigger. So, at the same time, Pamela Anderson has her breasts reduced.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, the urban myth is... Or the true story is that at the same time, Britney Spears asked the surgeons who took out Pamela Anderson's breast implants if they could give them a rinse and insert it into her.
That's not true at all.
And she has Pamela Anderson's breast implant.
Where the hell did you get that from?
That's not even worth the title of Urban Myth.
That's the
true story.
I'll have somebody else's breast implants.
Dust them off, quick rinse.
Like they recycle them. Like they recycle them. I reckon so.
She specifically asked them, she said, I don't want any old breast implants, I want Pamela
I want Pamela's.
I want Pam's.
So has Pam got any now at all, or did she just have them reduced a bit?
No, she had them taken out.
And smaller ones put back in?
Didn't have them all taken off. It was
No, I mean, did she have... Has she still got implants, but just smaller ones?
No, she hasn't. She's
now her natural...
Yeah, her natural size.
Oh, yeah.
And Brittany has, in fact, taken...
Pamela's.
Yeah.
If there was a choice between Britney and Pamela, I'd go for Britney every single time.
Yeah.
Not that that's got anything to do with anything, but...
Yeah, Britain is very nice, but, you know, well, I've always said this, if you knew that Pamela had nothing done and every single aspect of her was, like, natural, then you'd be looking at someone stunning.
Yeah.
But it's not, is it?
But you've got that kind of feel of the lips and the, you know, the whole bit.
But what about, is it the old Billy Brittany debate? Do you like Billy or do you like Brittany?
Are they both?
Oh, Brittany would be the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
Billy actually looks like a little boy.
I've never...
In a funny way.
No, I go for Brittany as well, especially...
Plus Billy's 10.
Yeah, that's
Which, like, it's kind of, like, not the right age to be, you know...
No, she's not. How old is Billy?
About 17, I think. Yeah.
But she was 16 when this song went to #1, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And Brittany's 19, I think.
I did fall in love. Who the hell was that band we had in the other week? Do you remember?
Oh! I was telling you that story the other day. I was besotted by that girl with the belly button ring.
Oh,
well, that Irish band on what?
With the tattoo. Yeah, fab.
One of them was Boyzone's brother.
Yeah.
And the other two were Bewitched sisters.
God,
no, one of them was Boyzone's sister. It was a girl band. They were on Wales Show. One of them was Boyzone's sister. I don't know which one. And two of them, I think, were Bewitched sisters.
Only because you were propositioned.
and me.
Yeah, but she came up. She said something like, "Hello there, boys," and she said it was on the lines of, you know, I'm the only single one. I've got nobody to go home with, and it was as blatant as that.
It wasn't on the lines of that was it.
Yeah, but she was obviously joking. Otherwise she'd have come back afterwards.
I was gonna have the blonde one.
But the one with the she was kind of like slightly gypsy looking, sort of Irish gypsy looking.
Such a nice tan.
Nice what?
Tan.
I'm sorry. There was something so incredibly sexy about this girl.
Well, I'm going to the Irish Expo, the Olympia this week.
Are you?
Yeah, at Earl's Court.
What goes off there then?
It's weird. It's just this kind of...
Hopefully nothing goes off there.
Lots of girl bands. But no, apparently it's like a big sort of exhibition of Irish culture.
From when?
From it's like-
potatoes onwards, or?
Absolutely, potato famine, which was because of a guy in Watford.
It's a nice story.
No, it's true. Okay, they elaborate on that, but it might bore you. But the it's Earl's Court, and a big exploration of Irish culture. Bands, Van Morrison's going to be there. Some other sort of artists are going to be there, but there's going to be lots of...
And Ambrose Heron will be there.
I'll be there. I'm half Irish, you see. Half Irish, half Scottish.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. You didn't know that about me?
I think I might have done it, you mentioned it.
Yes.
Your Gaelic connection is...
I don't have a drop of English blood in me. Bizarre. And also, to extend that family tree further back, some of my mum's grandparents were French.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yes, it is.
Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen, the life story of Ambrose Heron.
Ambrose Heron.
What were you saying about the guy in Watford, very, very briefly?
Irish potato famine.
Yeah.
Basically...
In a line.
Because of one guy in Watford, if he filled out a form wrong, the entire...
what was that? Sorry.
You ruined my flow there. I was going to get it all in
So because of one guy in Watford...
Filled out a form wrong.
What, cancelling the spuds?
Yes, basically.
Spud order.
Do you want potatoes this week, yes or no? No. So none of Ireland had potatoes for 20 years.
It was pretty much that. Because, you know, the potato crop failed. And it still is a very rural farming, very...
Of course,
reliant on agriculture. And because this dink in Watford filled out a form wrong, and we basically couldn't be bothered, like hundreds of thousands of people starved and emigrated to America.
Did they have forms back in those days, did they?
Oh, yeah.
I never got that, right? Because, I mean, so without their potatoes, they all died.
Yeah, because that's pretty much the main food they'd use to sell, to eat.
Do they not have bread?
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like their livelihood, yeah?
Yeah, agreed, but I mean, I've always found it odd that, like, they didn't think of maybe growing some carrots or something.
No, but I mean, that was...
Because you can get the, those little packet seeds?
They couldn't buy them in those days.
Oh, yeah, I never thought of that.
But if you go to any Irish graveyards, are full of, deaths in that sort of period, those few years. It's amazing. I mean, chock full, hundreds.
I know. It's big time.
I still don't understand. Why do they not make bread?
Well, that's what I'm... It's kind of...
Really.
I mean, maybe we should do a show on this at some point, because it is, like, really fascinating. And I have to hold my hands up and say that I've got about 3 books on this, and I've never got round to reading any of them. And I've only ever heard sort of half-truths and half-stories about how it all happened. And one of the ones, which is, I didn't know that, was that, because it's always told as, well, basically a lot of rich English landowners said, you can't grow potatoes and whatever, and that's how it, And so, maybe in a nutshell it is kind of that. But it is quite fascinating that, what people forget as well is that, and this goes for any kind of war, is that any kind of argument, debate. There was a lot of very well-off Irish landowners who were, swining up the wall as well.
There was a gentry class in Ireland.
Totally. In Scotland too. When people talk about how the English went in there and completely mucked it all up. There's a load of Scottish aristocracy who did really, really well out of the empire in all those days. Really, really well. And it always, not that I would never defend anything that England did in terms of those horrible activities and muscling in here, there and everywhere, but it's just odd that, like, whenever it's talked about, no matter where you are, it's the other countries are missed.
Oh yeah.
And if you think of, like, Owen Tudor, who I think was like one of the first bods to go into Ireland and kind of bugger it all up in there. And he was Welsh.
Of course.
Hello? Is this Ireland? Oh, I think I'll have it. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Those
words.
You've got a big Irish audience.
We've got a big Irish audience.
All my relatives, big fans.
We've got a big Irish audience, and, well, I think, thankfully, anyone who listens to this show knows that, we don't stance it or stack it in any particular direction, which is,
Got a big homosexual audience?
We've got a big homosexual audience, indeed. It's amazing.
Yeah. Latent audience we've got.
A blatant audience?
Latent.
Oh, a latent audience. We've got a big latent audience as well.
Oh, yeah.
Big celebrity audience.
Yeah.
Big old trout audience as well. Like old bags that don't like us, but still listen to us, which is really, really weird.
Calling me up and bugging me all the time.
Yeah.
Big dwarf.
Nobody listens to this show. I'll tell you that now.
Oh, well, like, you mean you just went round the country with a big clipboard and asked everybody, you buffoon? Like, you know, if we've been here a little while now, you know, and I think we'd have been told if that wasn't the case. Okay, are we breaking now, or are we doing that now?
Should we break and then do that?
Good idea.
Introducing, all the way from Australia, Sunraysia's Bram Presser and his grandma Ruby.
Granny, what happens to all the pits from the prunes that go into Sunraysia prune juice?
Well, Bram, I'll tell you, but you have to keep it a secret.
Okay, Granny.
Each night, just before midnight, the prune pit plucker magically appears in Sunraysia Prune Land and picks the pits, leaving behind a pile of plump prunes for Sunraysia to put in their prune juice.
But what about the pits?
The prune pit plucker takes them away because at his home he has a gigantic pile of pits, the fabled prune pit peak.
So you're saying that the prune pit plucker plucks the pits from the premium plump prunes Sunraysia pick to produce their premium prune juice and paddles the piles of pits to the prune palace on Prune Pit Peak?
Precisely.
Sunraysia's prune juice is always bottled in glass to maintain its quality and freshness. Sunraysia is now available at selected Safeway stores.
Now you can top up your pay-as-you-talk phone instantly, just by popping into your local Vodafone store. Well, that was easy, wasn't it?
On OK to Talk this Friday, Ross King will be joined by two musical theatre legends, Sir Tim Rice and Michael Crawford, and two singing stars, Anna Jones and Elkie Brooks. OK to Talk today from noon on your station for sport, news and views, Talk Radio.
It's time to go screenless.
Hello, Talk Radio. 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 God, if old wrinkled Rita, who belled us up, hates the show so far, I shudder to think she's going to have a heart attack at this point.
That's true.
She'll be gone. Screen this, we just hit the phones. Whatever's at the other end is at the other end. Whatever point you want to make it. You only get a minute. You only get a maximum of a minute. All sorts of kind of things happen at this point. 08700 40 50 60.
You silly man.
Shut up. That's our number. Bell us now. Lines are open. And in just a little while, we got Hugh Grant interview, followed by, aptly enough, it's Film Detail with Ambrose Heron. Okay, hello, you're on Talk Radio.
Oh, yes, my husband impersonated a police officer.
Did he?
We was stationary at some lights at Harlesden.
Yes.
And we was in a black Toyota Crown, and we were just going to a funeral, so my husband was in black. And a car in front rolled back on us and hit us, and a big black man got out and he said, you've hit my car. Look what you've done to my car. So my husband said, you pull over there, I'm a police inspector and I want to see your MOT and I'm going to test your brakes. With that he went.
Did he? Gone. Finished.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've got to take these risks sometimes. Got to do it. Thank you very much indeed. Great. Hello. Let's go to this line here. Hello.
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 Yeah. Famous people in your shop.
Yeah.
Does famous people get in their taxi? Does that count?
Have you got a shop in your taxi?
I have. That you, Ian? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got Robert Duvall in my taxi tonight.
Really?
Yep. Tight-fisted sod. Honest to God.
What did he do?
The fare was about $2.60, $2.80, and they gave me £3. Tight-fisted git.
Really?
Yep, but he do that.
Well, you should have put him in your boot.
I should have smacked him.
Smacked him one?
But,
Robert Duvall, who the hell do you think you are?
Honest to God, I picked him up with the Hilton in Glasgow.
I understand he's filming up there at the moment, isn't he?
Aye, big film going on, aye.
Yeah.
But, you know, a good topic would be other people that are tight-fisted or generous, like, you know.
Oh, yeah, particularly with celebrities.
Yeah, Gascoigne, he's very generous. He was very generous when he played up here, you know.
Yeah, he's all right, actually. He gets a bit of a bad press, doesn't he?
I got a tenner off him for about $2.20 fare, you know.
Superb.
And McCoy's unbelievable. He is the tightest thing walking the two legs.
I was talking to a cabbie the other day, actually, down here, and he was telling me that he had the Duchess of Duchess of Kent's daughter, Lady...
Duchess of Duke Street there.
Yeah. Lady, Sarah somebody, what they used to call her Melons in the paper years ago. And she was really, really nice, he said. But she only gave him 20p.
Oh, well, listen, I could tell your story endlessly about how tight or generous these people are.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I once impersonated a BBC cameraman. Did that count?
How did you do that?
To get into a football match.
Fantastic.
10 years ago.
You didn't have a camera with you?
No, but I took one of the guy's tripods. And I shoved it on my shoulder. And I took a bit of persuading from him to give me it. And I managed to, you know, the big, huge iron gates you have.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And, am I on air just now?
Yeah, you are, yeah.
Aye. And, so the guy at the gates, you know, BBC, and the guy that gave me the tripod was like an English accent.
Yeah.
So I put on an English accent as well, you know, I might be saying that. So I get in with this bloody tripod.
That's all you need at a football match, is a tripod.
Well, the thing was, my mate, we only had one ticket between us, and he took the ticket. So once I was in, I had to get back out the ground to go and tell him that I was in. So the guy would recognise me at the gate. So I took my jacket off and turned it inside out. And you know when you turn it inside out, you've got two black sleeves and a big orange bit at the back.
Yeah.
It looks so bloody stupid. But the guy never recognised me. So I had to run out. And anyway, that was it. So
Beautiful.
So there we go.
Beautiful.
Just enjoy the show.
Thank you very much.
No bother.
See you later. Ta-da. Lovely. There's a whole crocodile, you know, the 3 gems all in one go there. People in the cab getting it. Love it. 08700 40 50 60. What's up with you? Hello.
Ian.
Yeah.
How's it going, mate?
All right.
It's Russ.
I thought it might be. How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
Good
Cheers,
stuff.
mate.
Fire away. 60 seconds starting now.
Oh, no. That, 10 past 4, you played that like thing, that song, Looking for Love or something. That old-fashioned song, just...
Look in my eyes!
That's it. That's that clip that I'm in. I'm famous.
Oh, that's the one.
You say, we're a load of old rag, and I go...
Yeah, absolutely.
Super
smashing lovely. That's the one.
Super great smashing.
Great.
Catch you later, John.
Thank you, Russ. See you later. Ta-da. 08700 40 50 60. Short and sweet, which is how we like it. Yeah, hi.
Don't know.
Is that it?